that deep in the woods, on the edge of a misty field, lives an old mountain woman who holds the secrets to creating an indie comic book.
Hello there, traveler. I don't mind you interrupting my supper. You ain't the first and you won't be the last. Many men come wanting to know how to make an indie comic. I tell you, it ain't easy. It ain't for the weak of heart. Come on over and I'll show you how to do it. First, you need to add a piece of paper. Then, just a bit of your blood. Now, the most important part. Just a bit of your soul.
Comics Wellspring. And yeah, this is printed with Comics Wellspring. Came out beautiful.
High quality stuff. People think it's fantastic. All the books that you see at my table are through Comics Wellspring.
Looking for something, Betty? For relief, Mrs. Rollins, try this. Preparation H?
Pain, itching? Sure, try this. Preparation H?
My nickname should be Preparation H because I really do. Look, I have a whole. I have notes here. You know?
Feeling better today? Thanks to you in Preparation H.
Back in form, Bill? Thanks to you in Preparation H.
I'm Johnny C. I'm here with my good pal Dino. They've decided by committee that I am missing eyebrows. So Dino here is going to put some eyebrows on me. You ready?
Let's do it.
Let's go.
I think I started
Yeah. Hold on, let me get the hat off. There you go.
Go.
Taking on a Submariner type of look. Looks like an early Submariner in an amazing way.
Do I look like I could be fucking Sue Richards?
Oh, dude.
Right on.
Me Richards.
Or fighting Tony Stark.
Yeah. There we go.
There you go.
Like Spock.
This is what it's like to get cosmetic surgery from somebody who worked at Marvel. Yeah, this is next level shit. This might be the most valuable fucking thing illustrated SPX this weekend. Yes. Thanks, brother. That's fucking dope. That's dope, dude. Thank you. Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Indie Comics Relay. I'm your host, Keith Gleason, creator of the Mighty Mascots and promoter for the Plastic City Comic-Con. With me, as always, Johnny C., creator of Sartana the Comics, surrounded by death and the pond. For who, Johnny?
My good cousin, Roger Morocco. Big shout out.
Absolutely. Our third co-host, the Time Lord of Tangents himself, Harry G. What's going on? Actually, wait, I got to fix this before I got to put Johnny up in the corner here. Hang on.
This is the only time it's acceptable.
Oh, yeah. Let me see. There we go.
I kind of like Harry up top there. I don't know. We should actually poll the audience and see what they think.
Oh, yeah. So we got a great show tonight. This is just like an off week, but I decided this month we have so many friends to the show of Kickstarters, including myself. And we had to pick like a Monday to get it started, and this was it. So a lot of we got like 5 great guests tonight. One of them will be joining us later towards like the 9:30 hour, which is Jay Moore. So he'll probably be on like the second half of the show, but he is coming on later. But yeah, it's going to be great. And before we bring in the guests, I know we have a little bit of business with a certain soda, right, Harry?
Oh, right. I went out. I went shopping
last week.
Yes.
Right. I went out as I normally do to go shopping, on Saturdays, and I saw this 7-Up Shirley Temple. It was right next to the Shirley Hemphill sodas, but I picked up the right one, the Shirley Temple one. So I'll take my sip. This is my first.
You basically found a case that I hadn't pillaged yet from a supermarket.
Right.
And for
Somehow
context,
you left
watch
some
the last episode.
Is it good year?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. How is it?
It's not bad. It's not bad, but the other half.
It's not bad. It's like it's the worst soda I've ever tasted.
It's not half
got the
bad,
regular
but
one, right?
The other half. Yeah. I think so, right?
Okay.
Isn't the regular?
Yeah, the zero sugar is no good, but the regular, perfection.
Johnny, did you go raid Lemonster for it?
No, there's some cases there for here, Keith. Keith's like, thank God. I am fully stocked on soda, where I plan to resell a good portion of it, and maybe enjoy a little bit on the side.
Yeah,
it's not as 7-Up-y. It's not. It doesn't have a bite to it.
No, it very much is a Shirley Temple.
Yeah, it's really good. I recommend. It's one of the best sodas I've ever had. I think, hands down. Really good stuff.
I think one of my favorites is that Buffalo Bill's the guy that goes to the conventions. The
Wild Bill.
Wild Bill.
No, Buffalo Bill's is the guy that puts women in the well.
And skins them, right? Right. Not Buffalo Bill, but Wild Bill. I love his. I love the black cherry flavor. That's my favorite one.
That is a good flavor. Mixed with vanilla, top notch.
I used to have a Wild Bill mug from like I have one of the last times I did Rhode Island Comic Con, and the one I have was actually Rob Liefeld's. Like because he was right next to us. He had his table right next to us, and he left. And he just left the Wild Bill mug. He had 2 of them.
You scooped it?
I scooped them. I cleaned them up, and I now I get free soda whenever Wild Bill's around. Rob Liefeld. Thanks, Rob, if you're watching.
Thanks, Rob. They should make Wild Bills should make a Buffalo Bills mug or Buffalo Bill mug. That on one side just says "Unfuck me."
Yeah, hell yeah.
Trying to make sure like the font matches the tone of voice, like the "Unfuck me."
Yeah, right.
Oh, Jesus.
So you guys excited for tonight's episode? We're gonna have a full house here, we'll have to be
it's
careful
really
with what like stepping on each other and things like that.
It really is. It really is a great night to be alive. I'm glad that I'm here.
Thanks,
big night. No.
So I know everybody except for Elliott and Alicia. Johnny, do you have some background on them?
Oh, well, I mean, Elliott and Alicia, they're just wonderful new creators. I mean, Elliott I met only fairly recently. I think it's been about a year now, maybe a little bit more, but just such a awesome and pleasant individual. Surprising in many ways. He's just full of surprises, this guy. Awesome. But a real good guy. And got a good heart in his chest, that one.
Awesome. I love hearing that. And so I'm looking forward to meeting them both. We also know Dean Haspiel, who's we had the beginning video with Johnny and him at SPX, which is amazing.
Surgeon extraordinaire.
Yeah. you still have that bandana, right? You should have worn it tonight, Johnny. That would have been amazing.
Yeah, you should have worn it.
It's actually gonna go into like a light box, or not a light box, like a shadow box.
That.
So I don't want to wear it. I don't want to like sweat and it like gets ruined. So I do have it as evidence right here. From,
Nice.
Nice.
so yeah,
And then,
I'm
of course,
gonna
we
make
got
a
our
nice little,
pal,
shadow box for it.
Oh yeah, there you go. You can get those at Michael's, I believe.
Yeah, I've never been into a Michael's, so that'll be an experience. I should film the whole thing.
Yeah,
the drawing pens.
Yeah, there
What's
you go.
the drawing pens? The microns. Yeah, they're Michael's. I have some. Yeah, I have a bunch. So.
Oh yeah, they sell them there.
But
I'm not an artist, but I'm a Marvi Yukita guy.
Nice. And then Jay Mooers, who like said earlier, will be with us later in the show. Good friend of ours. Actually, our very first
Nandor.
guest on the show, which is amazing. You know, a little bit of trivia for ICR. And I don't recommend going back and watching it. That show is a little rough. And then also our pal Nandor Fox Shaffer, which did you get to see him in New York, Johnny?
We hung out at the
cool.
Alley at the Creator AfterCon event we did. And
nice.
Really cool catching up with him. I pitched him my new comic I was working on or currently writing. That was really cool to talk about that. And then I got to talk to him in person about his his new publishing deals. Multiple.
Oh, awesome. Yeah.
Deals,
So
yeah.
I wonder if he might be able to talk about that. I saw our newsletter.
Oh, he can. Yeah. No, he can
might
talk
be able
about
to
it.
talk a little bit about that tonight. I'd love to hear that whole thing. So without further ado, should we start bringing in guests?
Yes. Let's bring everybody in.
All right. So who you guys pick? Who should I start with?
Can we do it?
We can't pick favorites. Let's just bring everybody in.
Okay. You want me to just?
Can we do it?
Like,
let's just bring everybody in.
Survivor Series.
You know what I'm gonna do? Go ahead, Harry. I'm
bring one
sorry.
in. Like
Every minute?
Survivor Series.
That's
one in.
not that
Survivor
bad of an
Series.
idea. Do you want to do it every 60 seconds? That way they have 60 seconds to pitch themselves.
Like Survivor Series.
All right, I'll set the clock. Hang on. That's a great idea. Look at that.
Yeah, we
Look
should
at you,
have a-
Harry. Look at you, Harry, having great ideas.
Every now and then, every
It happens every
blue
so.
moon.
Sheldon
It's the
says to
7-Up.
drop them in like dumping out Legos. There you go.
Oh, except for when you step on them. That one rogue Lego. All right, you want to get the first person out? I'll start the clock.
Yeah, and how should we do it? Just have them
Your dealer's
introduce-
choice. Don't even say. Just dealer's
Okay.
choice. Have them come
All
out.
right.
You have to be ready.
All right.
You guys have to be ready backstage.
All right.
As soon as they pop
I'm
in,
gonna
the
go
clock-
with the
the clock
first one I
starts.
see ready, which is Elliott Mondry.
Hey, everybody.
Hey.
Johnny, Keith, Gary.
Hey, Elliott.
Hey,
How's it going?
Elliott. 60 seconds on the clock.
All right. Hi,
Introduce
everybody.
yourself.
My name's Elliott Mondry. I'm the co-owner of Calamity Comics and head writer. My illustrator and business partner, Alicia, who's going to be on in a few minutes, and I have created the comic book You Never Know, which deals with the concept of you never know what other people are going through behind closed doors and how strong of a hold anxiety can have on people and how far it can push you. We're currently on Kickstarter right now. We have about 8 days left on that. And we're just excited to be here and talk with everybody. And as always, Johnny, good to see you, man.
Always good to see you. You have 25 seconds still.
Cool. What can I do for 25 seconds? When I'm not writing comic books, I practice law, which is always a great time. So if anybody ever needs advice on intellectual property law, I'm your guy.
Cool.
And otherwise, just love being a part of the community. Love seeing just the support and love that everybody shows. And I'm guessing I have about 5 seconds left, so we'll take to the next person.
Yep. Next person.
Elliott, we definitely want to pick your brain after the show.
We'll stick around.
All right, cool. Awesome. All right, next person
Next
is
person.
Nandor Fox Shaffer.
60 seconds on the clock.
Hey guys, what's up? Hey, I'm Nandor Fox Shaffer, and I'm a comic book creator. I've been making comics for about 8 years now, and I have a book Seasons on Kickstarter right now, volumes 1 and 2, the trade paperback editions, as well as the volume 3 Ashcan. I am Foxhole Comics. I've published about 7 or 8 books between Man-Child issues 1, 2, and 3, The Fabled Offering, Lifeline, and Seasons. As Johnny mentioned earlier before the show, or during the show, I got 2 publishing deals this year. So my first is with Source Point Press with Seasons, and my second is for a project that I can't say the name of yet, but it is with Gungnir Books. That's working with Steve Orlando as my editor for. So I'm super excited. It's a 140-page hardcover graphic novel.
Sweet.
He hit the Pope. Right? Exactly a minute.
Oh my God, what an expert.
Exactly a minute. Nailed it.
Professional.
Awesome job, Nandor. All right. Next one I see ready. Alicia Madden. What's up, Alicia?
What up? Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we got
Yes.
you.
Yeah, we
We
got
got
you.
you. Loud
Okay.
and clear. You sound great.
Hi, I'm Alicia, named after Alicia Silverstone.
Yes.
That's an easy way to remember how to pronounce that.
But we're
And-
clueless, so we forget.
That's okay. It would be
Come on,
crazy. If you know, you know. I am the co-owner of Calamity Comics along with Elliott Mondry, and I'm the artist for our first comic together, which is You Never Know. And Elliott already put it beautifully, but he also didn't mention that it is also like very cinematic. I had damn near given up on art before I read the script, and then it just pulled me right back into it, and I'm like, I gotta work with him on this. It's beautiful. It's gonna be beautiful. It's on Kickstarter.
Oh, nice.
Boom. Hit it. 1 minute. Look at that.
Oh, look at
You
that.
guys are
Great
aces.
job.
Heck yeah.
And last but not least, the great Dean Haspiel. What's up, Dean?
Hey everybody, how you doing?
Give us your
hey, how are you?
tell us, we got a minute to pitch yourself.
Well, I'm not really good with words. I'm a very shy person. That's why I like to take my shirt off at shows, because it kind of relieves me of the fear factor. So
You gotta let the man burger meat hang out. you
I
know?
mean, I just walk around naked and hopefully sell comics, you know? So, no. Good God, I hate elevator pitches. I've done 4 Kickstarters already. I'm on my 5th one right now. The first 4 comics were COVID Cop, Billy Dogman, Jane Legit. And then I did the Red Hook versus Dean Haspiel, and then Face. And instead of going and doing a sequel to COVID Cop, I decided to launch a one-man anthology called Antimatter, or Antimatter. Done in the spirit of like Dan Klaus's 8 Ball, Adrian Tomanay's Optic Nerve, Jessica Abel's Art Babe, and Don Simpson's Bizarre Heroes. An author that provides different kinds of stories and tales. And because I have all these characters, I was like, well, let me create my little Dino universe under one umbrella title. So this is going to be basically 40 pages of new stories featuring those characters, plus a guy named AI Joe, which we can discuss
Nice.
more throughout the show.
I'd love to find out more about AI Joe. I hate him already.
He's a lover, not a fighter. He's
he's from Virginia.
Yeah. Right.
There you go. That's right.
Dean, have you gotten any pushback for having a character called AI Joe? I know the comics community is like so dead set against AI, and I can't blame them. I mean, it's pretty.
Well, so is he or it, AI Joe, in my comic. He's very confused by, basically, I couldn't believe that when I typed in AI Joe and I had this kooky idea that hadn't already been taken. It's so obvious, like G.I. Joe, AI Joe, like, how did I get there first and recently, So it was just it was just hanging there. And I was invited to write and draw a short story for an anthology called Tales from Aerotech by SHP Comics. And I want to talk to all of you guys, not only about the Kickstarter strike, the employee strike, but also something that happened to me on Instagram because of sharing hype for this erotic project on Instagram. And I'll tell you about that. That got me banned. Anyway, we'll get to that shortly. But when I was asked to do this like erotic comic, I wanted to play with the idea of like a super soldier that builds a girlfriend. And I gotten that idea by this image that haunted me for years, which was the splash page of OMAC #1, Jack Kirby's one-man Army Corps. And when you open up the first page of the first issue, there's a box with women parts, and it's called Build a Friend. And I was what is going on? It's like, it wasn't a love doll in that comic book, but I saw it as like, that's like a love doll that you can. So, AI Joe, who's supposed to be this like warrior for America and just be this war machine, kind of like wants to build this girlfriend, but she has a penis, and it's all kinds of, it's very open, like her name is Rainbow, kind of a thing. So I wanted to really support the idea that it's not what when you think of the idea of AI Joe, or when you think of the idea of COVID cop, you're going to have an initial reaction, okay? Like the word COVID and cop polarizes a lot of people, but I wrote a love story out of that, because that's where I come from, and that's what's important to me. So I like to buck the systems. I like to play with genre, and I like to create heartfelt stories. So that's the kind of stuff that I do.
That's very punk rock right there.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I love it.
Thank you. But I want to hear what everybody else is doing as well, obviously. Like, I'm excited. We all have Kickstarters, including you, Keith.
Yeah. I literally launched mine 20 minutes ago.
Oh my
God!
God!
I need to back it right away.
Me and Harry are the only outliers here where we don't have Kickstarters.
What, you guys need to get with the program? Like, what?
Well, I got irons in the fire as they speak. The only thing I can maybe roll out tonight is a logo for my next book. That's about it.
Nice.
There's a common denominator here. We're all on Kickstarter.
Yeah, and well, actually, the funny thing, this is my first one in a while, because I was doing Indiegogo the last 3 campaigns I did. So I was like, I want to go back to Kickstarter. I got to say, it's a lot easier to put a Kickstarter together now than it used to be. Like, it's real easy to do it. But I want to circle back to something you said, Dean. I had no idea there was a strike going on. What's that all about?
Yeah,
I'm like
a lot of
so
people,
out of it. I don't, I'm not paying attention.
I'll try to do the short version, which was I had met up or talked to Sam Cusack, who was our, comics lead at Kickstarter for I think a couple of years now. And I was asking him when. I was like, well, I was thinking about maybe launching October 1st. He was like, you know what, wait like a week, because there's a lot of people launching October 1st, which was true. But I think people launch there's a lot every day. It's a very robust space, the comics space on Kickstarter, which is cool, but yes, there's a lot of launches that happen. So he told me to wait. And then about 2 days before I was going to launch on October 7th, I get an email from him, and I think it was like a broad email to a lot of people from Sam saying, we have gone on, the employees have gone on strike at Kickstarter, but, and this is what's going on, and this is what we need. And if you could please write the CEO on our behalf, and, he would send me an email to do that. But he did say, please launch, do your Kickstarter, like we want the platform to be running, and I was like, okay. And then I wrote the CEO on behalf of them in a very nice way. And then the CEO wrote me back. I didn't ever expect that he even opened my email. And he was like, this is one of the best emails I've gotten all week, because I guess he was getting slammed. And I was probably nice about my, backing, the employees up. And so I got 2 people, and he said, oh no, do your Kickstarter as well. But as I've been doing my Kickstarter, and let me ask you guys, who some of you started, like, did I hear October 8th was somebody started, or?
Yeah, we were like the 6th.
You were like the 6th. Okay. We're not getting some of the benefits that having employees at Kickstarter grant us, which is, the tweets that they might have tweeted your project, or the projects we love, or that kind of stuff that, lifts the optics up. I don't necessarily know how much it moves the actual needle of your Kickstarter, but at least omnisciently you feel like you're being taken care of, and that people are finding out about your stuff. Y'all might have different experiences than I'm having, but I did notice that I have gotten less pledges, maybe because the optics aren't there, they're not promoting, and they can't promote, because the employees are on strike, and I doubt the CEO is going to go around promoting everything right now, so and then it kind of bothers me. It bothers me a little bit, because like they're still going to get the same cut for doing nothing than when they were doing something, so I don't know how I feel about that. But you were going to say, Elliott?
Oh, sorry, this is actually our first Kickstarter, so we don't know any different. So to us, it just feels normal.
Okay.
So I don't know whether or not, if we had launched a month ago or 2 months ago, whether or not we would have had a different result than we do now. So in terms of like the boosting, like project we loves and getting more spotlight on it, could that have been different? Maybe, but we launched when we did. We felt like it was the right time for us to do it. So maybe future campaigns will have more spotlight on it. But for right now, I mean, it's the normal for us, so we don't really know any different.
Sure. So you don't know the difference right now. Nandor, what's your situation?
Yeah, no, I mean, I haven't. I've done many Kickstarters. I usually do 1 or 2 a year, depending on what I have going on, and I haven't noticed anything. Like I feel like I'm on my usual trajectory with my stuff. So, and it's been a while since I've done a graphic novel. I've mostly been doing single issues or one shots, so it is a bit of a different, I think, audience that I'm capturing. But because some people just prefer the complete story rather than a piecemeal. But I do think I have noticed the lack of like seeing projects we love, like for certain projects, and I also feel like when I go on Kickstarter, the algorithm of it it seems a bit less curated than I'm used to. So it makes me wonder if that has anything to do with that strike as well.
Did you, Nandor, did you ever have a project we love on there? Did any of your campaigns ever have that on it?
Yeah.
Have you noticed a difference in like bumps by having that?
Yes, definitely. Yeah, it makes people trust the project, a little bit more, and they're willing to at least check it out. But and it will be featured in like any email campaigns that Kickstarter will do. And that's where you want to be in someone's email. So any way that Kickstarter can do that for you is super helpful.
Nice.
Keith, real quick, I want to ask. So, Nandor, you're talking about doing one shots and graphic novels. Mine are all basically one shots.
Yeah.
But like, for instance, like in Antimatter, the debut issue is going to have actually a sequel to COVID Cop in it, but it's also standalone. That's how I write and draw these things. So I do agree that that's probably you get more success out of that. Elliott and Alicia, are you doing a one shot as well? What's your comic?
Alicia, do you want to take it from here?
Yeah, sure. So You Never Know is split into 9 issues. At some point we did talk about how, when, and where to maybe like combine. Did we want to do like issues 1 through 3 and make that the first issue, that kind of thing? It's 9 chapters, and just the way that it's plotted out, it takes place in the present and a series of flashbacks. It just so happens that the way that it is chopped up now in chapters works perfectly fine as separate issues. But eventually it would be nice to see it all collected into something, because I think that would make a great read, honestly. But issues is what we're working with now.
And are these 24, like traditional 24-page type issues, or?
The first issue is 20. The next one is around 30. And that's kind of the average, I think.
Mm-hmm. We have some that are closer to like upper 30s, low 40s, and then some that the lowest is the current one, which is 20 just for the first one. Everything after that's anywhere like 27 to like 40 pages, depending on the issue and the content. So some like.
And do they feel like if I got issue 3, would I definitely need to read issues 1 and 2 first? And because I have a thought behind that. Would you need to?
You wouldn't have to read issue 2. You would have to read issue 1 to kind of understand.
Right. And so a friend of mine, Jonathan Bayless, has a series called So Buttons. But it's more like a Harvey P. Carr's American Splendor, where he's the writer and he gets different artists to draw his short stories. So he wanted to, he did a Kickstarter launch, I think for issue, let's say 15. And he asked me advice. I said, you can't just put up your first Kickstarter and be issue number 15 of the series. Like, what are you doing? Like, I mean, yeah, also I guess you could try to sell the first 14 in that campaign or a collection or whatever the hell.
That's a tough sell.
But it's a tough sell. So I asked him, I said, bury the number, put that in your indicia. Don't worry about selling number 15 if it's technically number 15. I suggested that he go So Buttons and then give it a subtitle.
Yeah.
So it felt like there's your branding, but here's what this issue is. So I was just going to suggest if it could work, It's hard to sell like a mini series or even 9 issues across the board that'll take over however many years that it's going to take, right? But I do think you might have a better success if you could, your title and then maybe a subtitle that comes with it, so it feels like, oh, I just need to get this. But if you're saying that you need to read issue number 1, maybe you devote a page in issue 3 to those who haven't, and just kind of set it up or something. I don't know. It's just like a thought.
It's a thought for sure. I mean, I'd say it's not really up to us because we do have an editor who is pretty like, here's how this is going to go. Here's how the story is going to flow. It has to go in this way for this reason. So, I mean, really, it's up to Blair what we do in terms of getting things out there. I just write it. She makes it actually make sense.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And then I do know somebody asked how many covers we have per issue.
Yeah, just do that. Yeah. Okay, yeah.
So we have Alicia is doing the main cover, and then for the first issue we have 3 variant covers, and then so we're probably gonna be around that 3 or 4 covers per issue.
Okay. Yeah, that's kind of what I do. I do a cover, or like in industry terms now, cover A, cover B, and cover C for my my campaigns usually. So
can I ask a printing question? So I've never done that in my own campaigns. What's the cost on that? Like the guts are the same, obviously, right? And then you're slapping a different cover, and you can order that many cover. Like, is it the same? Like, what's the pricing on something like that? Not the actual pricing, but does it involve more money? I assume to have 3 different covers.
Yes.
I don't want to take the answer.
I was just going to say, in my experience, yes. Like, that basically, I had 2 different alt covers, which then now tripled my production because I had to produce.
Is it worth it, Johnny? Like, I don't.
So I did. So in my campaign specifically, I saw a lot of activity on my my alt cover set. So I did homage covers. They were kind of like a riffs on the poster from Mallrats, and then another Kevin Smith movie. So Jesse Lundberg did it, and I noticed a lot of people, especially Jesse's followers, when he was promoting that tier, were picking up that that tier of the campaign. So to that point, yes, it was worth it for me to have that. If I don't have an artist as proactive as Jesse doing an alt cover, maybe not.
Right.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I noticed I sell on my campaigns the variants do pretty well, and because I make them only available in the Kickstarters or the Indiegogos, they tend to, and you can charge like a little more. I tend to see like those sell as much as the regular cover. I know with Comic Wellspring, when I did my last campaign, they did I asked them if they would do just print the whole run and then change, do a certain amount of issues with this cover, do a certain amount with this cover and this cover. And they did it. I don't remember if there was like a little extra charge, but it wasn't much more than just the print. You know what I mean? So,
well, let me ask it in this way, because I'm terrible with math and numbers. But like, let's say you get 300 orders, and just for simple pays, and you had 3 covers, and you did 100 of each cover. So you have 300 of the guts, 100 A, 100 B, 100 C. What's the cost? Like to okay, we're gonna take those 100 of the guts, slap them with this cover, that 100 with that cover. Is it basically the same pricing?
Yes, you're tripling your production by having alternate covers.
But then they'll add like a $25, $50 charge just to change from one cover to the other.
Yeah, to go to this pile to add to that pile.
Exactly.
Oh, that's interesting. So maybe I should consider that, because I always thought it would just be much more money to deal with that. Plus, also you sometimes are hiring a name artist to drive people to that cover, right?
Well,
so that was like a stretch goal or something,
Right.
That was the point I was going to make, Dean, is that there's often times when I'm looking at selecting an artist. I mean, there's people I'd like to go with, but they're not as proactive online, and they're not promoting things. So then in turn, when I get an artist, I also think, well, how I'm buying their art and their social media output. Mm-hmm. And those are the things I unfortunately have to look for nowadays, because that's what's going to kind of help push.
That's the reality, man.
That's the reality of it. I really love, there's, I'm not going to say names, but, I really love this artist, but, to blow $600 on a variant cover and they're not really engaging online. They don't really have a fan base, but I love their art. Yes, that's for me, but not like, it's not going to get the goal that I'm looking for. You know what I mean? And so that's why you kind of have to really compromise, or you have to really take into consideration a lot of variables when it comes to choosing your collaborative partners and people you want to bring onto your campaign that actually help move the needle.
Nandor, I saw your season's campaign. Obviously, I'm so excited to catch up and read it. But you have about maybe 4 or 5 different covers just for the trade paperback alone. Do you feel that that's helped move the new trade paperback as a result? Or do you feel that it's not necessarily as worth it? Where do you land on that?
Yeah, no, I think it's been super helpful. I think for people who may have picked up the hardcover editions, years ago, to get a new cover, a new edition, if they, want to support me, it gives them a reason to, and to collect that. And if they really love the series, you kind of want to collect as much as you can. And also it may be good to like, hey, I'll keep this one on my shelf, but I'll bring this one with me when I go places or whatnot. But I have 3 different covers for each volume, and 2 of them are like crowdfunding exclusive covers. So like Keith was saying, like you can only get them through crowdfunding. Like if I ever do a show or an author signing, like I'm not going to bring those books with me. Like I'm not going to sell them. I'm only going to print as many as sell on the campaign. And I think that's a really good incentive as well. If you plan on doing shows and signings, it's like, yeah, you may be able to catch me here, but I'm not going to have this cover here. So, it really helps. I love variant covers. I usually do them with all of my campaigns, and it helps to bring, every fan base that artist may have around, or at least to take a look at the book. And it's a great way for me, I found, to also build connections just in the community and be like, well, does this guy know this guy? And like, maybe I can, since I've worked with him, maybe I'll be able to work with this other guy that he knows. And also I'm just a fan. Like I can't help it. Like, I'm like, I need to work with these people. I just want to work with them, and have fun and see what they can do. When it comes to the cost, with the printing, it's very minimal. I feel like it's very worth it. I mean, you're maybe spending, I don't know, at the most $100 more per production, like per whole run, and that's, I think, worth it if you at least get to sell that many copies that, like, that people that want your variant cover.
Yeah, go for it, Dean.
How many of you guys are dealing with retailers or a retailer aspect? In the bookstores, comic shops?
Well, I'm planning on putting a package together for that new Filbo distribution that's popped up.
Yeah,
that'll be my gateway back in the stores, hopefully. But I've been kind of preoccupied with the Kid Switch campaign right now. So now that that's launched, and I'll probably start working on that because I'd love to get my stuff back in stores.
Does everybody have a retailer tier back, like in their on their campaigns? Any reason, or
no one gave a shit, so I just kind of left it off.
Are you marketing to the retailers though? Like,
I haven't been. No,
that's the difference, right?
Yeah.
You can say, "Hey, I have this campaign. I have this retailer tier." You know what I mean?
Listen, I love retailers, and I've loved the comic shops I've grown up with, and I still know, and I'm good friends with the owners. But right now, for the little that I get, which is still cool, it's worthwhile. It doesn't make sense right now for me to be. You would do it for the optics and to have a relationship with stores, of course, right?
Yeah.
But by the time what I'm selling my comic book for, a comic book shop would be like, "What are you talking about? That's a 24-page comic. We don't sell 24 pages." And I'm like, "But I'm not a Marvel and DC comic, Nandor, I think you were talking in a way about, it's almost like we're talking about collector's items or collectability.
Yeah.
These become almost like luxury items, even though we want as many people to read them. We want them to be commercial, But right now, the amount I'm selling, I've heard legend that out of like the 2,500 comic book shops that exist in America, maybe it's 3,000, I don't know. Maybe 40 of those stores are really into like, having a whole wall of, indie stuff that you walk past to then go get your Marvel and DCs, right? Because they realize we're going to sell Marvel and DC. We have the fan base, but why don't they walk past the weird, alternative stuff, right? But because it's so low, I just feel like, yeah, it would be cool to be in that shop, but I'm not going to make any money at that point. Like I might make $1 versus when I'm at my table, I'll be making a lot more if I hand over fist. So right now I'm doing the pre-order game, which is Kickstarter, with tiers and perks, and not that many tiers and perks. Because at the end of the day, I just want to sell a comic book. I just want to tell my story, right? And then I have leftovers that I overprint for the table at shows, right? But I'm not in the shop, and I know that that's an ingredient that's missing from my quote business plan. But to be honest, I'm just more an artist than I am a business guy. So I'm still learning, which is why I'm asking all you guys questions, and what is the key?
Oh yeah. Well, to your point, because I looked at the distribution model, and you're 100% right. You're not making in order to put a book in shops, you're not making a ton of money on it because you got to deliver it to the distributor for like, under $2 so that they can.
Or even if you mail it yourself, there's also Power Pulp. You can put your comics up on Power Pulp if they, choose you, and then they'll do the heavy lifting for free. And at least that was the conversation I had a while back. And I was like, wait a second, you're not going to make any cut off of this? That doesn't make any sense. And eventually they're going to have to. I don't know what the deal is now, but I was like, if you expand and grow, come on. I mean, yes, when people buy from their store, they're paying for shipping. Okay, so they're not paying for shipping. But what they are getting is someone that's going to a warehouse, pulling some comic books off and putting it into a box or an envelope. What's that person? What are they doing it for? Some free comics? No.
Yeah, right. Right.
So eventually, and I said that would be a good problem to have if you become successful in that way. To then you figure out, everybody on here we're going to need 5 or 10% or something, of the sales.
Johnny, I saw you had your hand
Yeah,
up.
I was just gonna say to that point, Gina. I mean, what I did was I took maybe around the time I launched my campaign in 2021. The only campaign I've done is that I had a retailer tier and it was basically 50% off. It was a bulk amount, and there was that Plan D distribution Facebook group, and they just basically had a whole long laundry list of retailers, and I kind of hit up everyone saying, hey, got this campaign launching, this is a retailer tier, if you're interested, please look at it. And I think out of maybe the 30, I hit 2 or maybe 3 actually bit, but it wasn't bad though, and now I know that I had a longer reach, and my book was in shops that it wasn't in before.
Well, that's good, but what you needed to have was either a TV show or a movie behind your comic. Okay, what's wrong?
Only if.
Well, that's what it's become, right? That's the whole game. Because I was even looking at like when I'm looking into doing this distribution, I'm trying to figure out my pricing, and it's like I'm probably gonna have to sell the book at least at $5 in order to even make a little bit of money on it, and that's just to have it in shops, So I get on some level how that doesn't make sense to a creator to do unless you're looking for that visibility. If you're in it just to make money, it doesn't make sense to do it.
Well,
my heart. Sorry.
No, go. Johnny.
I was just going to say, my heart likes to believe that if my comic's in a shop somewhere in Minnesota and some kid picks it up and I now have a fan that I wouldn't have had before just because of that, awesome. That's worth it to me in a way,
Yeah.
Absolutely. But you're right. It I'm basically living off my Kickstarters and the few gigs that I can get here and there, and mentoring a little bit. And it's not enough to live in Brooklyn, New York, where I've been 28 plus years. I'm a native Manhattanite. But I guess there are a lot of people who can do a Kickstarter and really they're going to produce the comic anyway. So sometimes I feel like some of the strategies for Kickstarters, like, oh, we just want to pay the printer's bill at least, and we can get more money. Great, that's gravy. But they're going to make the comic, and they have a job or some other means, to live, basically, to make the comic. Unfortunately for me, I don't have that latitude.
Yeah, so everything has to come out of the Kickstarter.
And the thing you don't want to ask anybody when you do a Kickstarter is, and I put up a video today where I was joking that I wanted to pay my staff of writers and artists and letterers and inkers, and like, that's just me. Okay? But people don't like it. They like a T-shirt or coffee mug or the comic book, but the minute they think that you need to get paid, what is wrong with you? Get a job.
Yeah.
This is the job. This comic book is the job. What are you talking about? So anyway, that's a weird kind of slippery slope with like people who are asking for like, I know people who ask for $200 for a 24-page comic. I'm like, okay, I guess you could say I funded in the first day. And was that supposed to make me want to buy your comic because you funded $200 in one day? Like, whatever. Again, there's all kinds of strategies, right? It is an optics game in a lot of ways,
So the benefit for you, Dean, is that you don't have the expense of having to hire all these other components to make the book. It's all you, right? You got all your bases covered. But then in the flip side of it, it's like when you do hire those people and you do have those cross collaborations, you now have multiple beacons out there that are all championing the work. You know what I mean? So it's kind of harder. It's like harder for you now because you're only the beacon of yourself and your kind of fan base and you're that outpouring. But when you have other people working on it, it's kind of like
you thought of that. You totally like,
you know what I mean?
Almost like, I mean, first of all, we all have friends. We all have allies that are pimping each other, and that's what we do. And I try to. I mean, that's the other thing that was cool about Kickstarter until the employee strike was that there's a culture of comics.
Yes,
people who are famished for this stuff, and they're like, "What's the next one?" Because at the end of the day, what are you really asking for? How much money are you really asking for? You're not buying a car here, like, and they are a little more expensive than if you went to the shop, and it is you're paying for shipping and handling and everything else, but you're helping people out. It's almost like the Patreon thing. Like you want to help artists create.
People feel good about supporting indie comics. That's why at the shows, I always thank people at the end of a transaction. Thank you for supporting indie comics because, they don't have to do that. We can be easily ignored, but they took the time to make the bet on us. Right. So
agreed.
There's always indie comics premium because, you're going to be paying a little more because it's coming from creator owned work. And I think that's why we're willing to pay that premium. Might not be paying, you'll be paying $5 or less for Marvel DC, but I'll gladly pay $10 or more for an indie book just because I'd rather support the people who are part of the community, who are trying to make their dreams come true, trying to bring comics to more people and more unique stories that we won't see in mainstream media.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, and if everyone wants Batman, they can just go to the store and get it, like it's like
but if you want seasons, you got to go on Kickstarter.
Right.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Or I was
it's
going
a
to say
little more special.
Just wait 9 years and we're going to see everyone's Superman comic. And then 10 years, or is it 8 years, 10 years, then it's going to be Batman when they all go public,
Public
and like
domain. Yeah.
public domain. And then then 90% of those comics are just going to be Superman and Batman raping each other and beheading each other. And just like,
well, I mean, if Mickey Mouse and Popeye are any indicator, we're just going to get a series of really awful fucking horror movies that are made really cheaply. And it's like, it's going to be Superman's Revenge and Batman meets Popeye and just, all sorts of, which to that point, if they played it more like Abbott and Costello meets Frankenstein, I would get on board with a Batman meets Popeye.
One
You know what I mean?
But ever made. But Abbott and Costello meet Frankenstein. You know why it's also one of the best movies ever made? Because it's equally a comedy and a horror movie.
Yeah.
Like it has elements of horror and it's also funny. It's like they figured it out, It's almost like a perfect Tarantino movie.
Yeah, right.
I always like to point to Shaun of the Dead as being like perfect balance of comedy and horror.
Absolutely.
American Werewolf in London.
Yeah.
I have to watch that movie once a year. That's how good that movie is.
So
Best werewolf transformation on film.
Oh, awesome.
I'll fight you for it.
and they didn't even use AI.
No, they didn't. No.
You won't get no argument here.
They didn't need AI Joe for that one.
That's
right.
Oh,
Good
man.
stuff. Man, so I don't know. Yeah, this Kickstarter stuff. Are you guys still like are you guys checking the numbers every day? And
That's
like,
awful.
you know,
Yeah, it's a
Can we
curse.
talk-
It's
I
a
was gonna say,
curse.
can we talk a little bit about Kickstarter sickness and how it affects mental health? Because honestly, so again, I ran the one campaign, but the day before I launched, I literally was like anxiety, panic attacks, because it was like I hadn't been that nervous since I asked my junior prom date out. Like that's the same level of like just heavy anxiety. I was like, I'm a grown adult. It shouldn't be this bad, but sure enough, it is. And I don't know, has anybody felt that launching their first campaign or since?
I mean, Alicia, this is your very first experience with Kickstarter in general. Yeah, I think you're probably the best person to speak on this than anyone else.
Well, it's also a book about anxiety too, so like double anxiety.
It's Inception, anxietyception.
Yeah, right.
You know, I didn't get a chance to really feel anxiety about it because Elliott spearheaded the entire Kickstarter. I've just been like, I've been flabbergasted and trying to explain to older people that I know what Kickstarter is, that they have to sign up for it to support it. And like, it's great to see the numbers climb for sure. And then it stagnates for a little bit. I'm like, oh, what did I do wrong? So there is a bit of that. I think you're right. There's a little bit of a sickness in there, but it's not, it doesn't stress me out that much, honestly. It's just good to see that the project has the money behind it so that we can get the physical copies out. And I'm just like, this is the coolest time to make comics, because can you imagine just trying to print out your own copies out of your own pocket, and it's like the dirty 30s and you've got nothing and nobody and you're just standing on a street corner like, do you want to read something? This is a good time to make comics. I don't think there's ever been a better time.
Agreed. Yeah.
Kickstarter makes it special though. Like like Dean, you were saying, like it's like a boutique kind of situation. Like you go there to get something unique or support a creator you like, and so I don't know.
Well, also, and porn. I mean, if you're into porn comics, they do better than anything.
Oh yeah.
We're talking like $100,000 for a 24-page comic, or like Jim Mahfood right now, bootleg comics, right? Like Jim Mahfood is doing his Arachnid Enforcer, which is a Spider-Man bootleg.
Yeah,
he's got like over $70,000. So there are things that are that kind of trend, but those things change, as you know. But I do think like a good bootleg, a good porno comic, it's because the stores aren't really selling those comics as much, So this is where you need to find it. It's like when I was younger, and I wanted something alternative because you crave after you're reading Marvel and DC and you discover an alternative comic, you're like, oh, there's more and it's different and it runs the gamut. But we used to be able to go to stores like that had zines and like weird stuff in it, and you go underground downstairs into an underground area, and it felt like off the beaten path, in this niche space. And of course, everything's kind of moved online. As much as I miss the physical, right? We still have some spaces, but not as much. Like a Quimby's, or like Desert Island Comics, specializes in alternative comics, So we still have those kinds of shops. But yeah, I think it's just moved online. It actually happens to be in the crowdfunding spaces, or like a Power Pulp that's got these outlier comics, So it's cool. It's just that you got to be more aware of it. But that's the other thing. The internet leveled the playing field. So really, it's just finding it. Where is it? Typing, searching kind of a thing.
Dean, to your point about like porn and stuff, honestly, I think it's kind of flying under the radar how important it is. Like that comic books and like written mediums, they can sell that kind of thing. What am I trying to say? Like, just from a woman's perspective kind of thing. Like, have you ever noticed that like women like to read that kind of thing more than they like to like watch videos kind of thing? You see like that one year everybody was walking around with like 50 Shades of Grey and like
right.
you know what I'm talking about. It's like something about reading it just kind of like it floats your boat kind of thing. So it's like
Totally.
it's a market.
Well, there's an
It's a
intellectual
very-
aspect to pornography, from what I understand. And
Yeah.
I've written some plays, and I actually befriended international porn star Stoya. I don't know if you've heard of Stoya.
I know Stoya. She's beautiful.
Stoya. She's great. So
Yeah.
we did a story together for Heavy Metal magazine, and then she starred in 2 of my plays. But she had her porn aspect, right? But she also was doing like magazines and directing her own films, and she also wanted to do theater where she wasn't a porn star. She was playing anything but as porn star, kind of a thing. And so I learned from her about like how important, literature and, like you said, reading and, not just video and film of just sexual activities, like there's so much more for the cranium,
I will say that there are some things that you can get out of reading something than just having it spoon fed to you through a screen kind of thing. There's a lot that's just like too much, or it's too, yeah.
Right.
And I think comics is a great market for just like for that kind of thing.
And it's funny because there's the obvious TNA kind of porn where it's just like, all right, big boobs, and you're twisting your bodies. We get the ass and the boob, but some of these actually tell good stories. Like they're fun stories, and so you can, just like any medium, like superheroes. There's some shitty superhero comics and some great superhero comics. Same thing with porn. There's enough of it now that you can discern.
It kind of reminds me of like 70s cinema, where it was like just gratuitous enough and like just violent enough and like just walk the line enough where like it could be intellectual and entertaining, but also very like cheeky or sexy or violent or whatever the case may be,
Yeah, Amy's Birdhouse made a good point.
Yeah. I think I saw. Wasn't there like a monster porn or something at Barnes and Noble recently? There's like women falling in love with like Frankensteins and like or something like
finally. My girlfriend Rachel's book club. My girlfriend Rachel's book club had this book they were reading about like this womanizing Mothman.
Wow.
Like how far have we spun out?
Dean, would you recommend any good fun comics that like?
Oh, you mean in the porno sphere? Pat Shand. Pat Shand. Pat Shand has become like an empire on Kickstarter of porno comics, and I feel like he does a pretty good. He has a great staff. He works with a female co-editor. I do sometimes wonder with the covers, is he rocking AI or not? I don't know, because it has a certain look, but maybe yes, maybe no. And that's another debate. Like, we're going to have to like accept a version of that, like at some point, because it's not going away, So, but again, that's another conversation. But anyway, I would say if you look up anything at Pat Shand, SHAND, you got something, Johnny? What?
I was just going to say that he should just check out Billy Dogma and Jane Legit, because there's some sexy ass pages in that book.
Yes, there is. But what's funny? My porn, I feel, is more like Archie Comics porn. Like it's very safe for work. Even if you're looking at a penis and a vagina, like it's just cute. Like there's nothing like there's nothing raw and gritty. And it's funny, speaking to what you said about the 70s, Johnny, like I love the 60s aesthetically in cinema, and the hairstyles and the clothing and the attitude. And then the neo-realistic 70s came in and got ugly and dirty, and you could smell the movies, right?
Yeah.
There's a sweet spot to the 80s, though. Like, I love weird science. Even though it's, quote, problematic, I get it, right? We all understand. There's something to the 80s, which was like an amalgamation of 60s and 70s in some way, And I like the new wave music, and I love, like, we still showed boobs and everything, but it was like not necessarily gratuitous, I mean, whatever, your mileage may vary, right? But there's something sweet about the 80s. But then again, I was born in 1967, so 70s and 80s is my wheelhouse, that's what I was weaned on.
Yeah, same. So yeah, my favorite era, definitely early 80s for sure.
Absolutely. And I guess the takeaway in this part of the conversation is that we need all of us to move the needle, actually, is to just dump what we're doing and just write and draw sex comics.
I just lettered a kind of funny one for, do you know Glasshouse Graphics, Dean?
I've heard of that.
It's do you know David Kimpetti? He's
wait.
He used to run Innovation Comics.
Yeah. That name. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I did. I'm part of his lettering team. So I just lettered I don't even know if it's on Kickstarter yet, but the comic was called Hot Wings. And somehow he mixed President Trump in with like demons and angels, but they're all like, big breasted and just like it's a wild comic. It feels like like I'm lettering like early Chaos comic stuff, like Lady Death and stuff like that.
No, there are some comics I love when they just push it all the way to the other, like what is going on here, to the point where it doesn't even feel real. Like I definitely have enjoyed comics that just go the extra mile, in terms of just being well actually that's one of the beauties of comic books is literally that blank page and what you can do with the real estate of a blank page, and just a pen and ink, or digitally if you draw digitally, like it's incredible. There's no permissions, no apologies. Whereas like with film, I mean, yes, we can shoot on our stuff on our phones now, but like with film or you're making a movie, you usually need a couple of people to help out. You got to create a set, acting, all that stuff. There's more consideration. There's the raw blank page. You can do anything you want.
Yeah. To kind of piggyback off of that a little bit, we're talking about a raw blank page here. We have our illustrator right over here, Alicia. This is the first comic you've ever drawn. You never did comic book work before.
Really?
Right?
Really? Wow.
Yeah. Nope, very first time, like in a professional capacity. Obviously, like I've always been into comics and reading them, and making them like in my notebooks and stuff at school and everything. And I was kind of like always known for that. But I like had a lapse in a couple of years. Like I hadn't drawn anything since high school, and it's like fast forward, like I'm an adult now. And then I've always been going to C2E2 because I'm a huge nerd. And I was like, I really got to get back into comics. Like I can't imagine not having a comic book out in the world and like a story important to me. Like I'm consuming them, and I'm like, I know that there's one that like I can be a part of. And so that's when I attended the like the speed dating for writers and illustrators kind of thing. And so I was like I totally wasn't ready for that. I was like, I haven't drawn anything in years. I didn't have anything to show anybody. But like, that's where I met Elliott, and we sat down and we had a great conversation about, like, he gave me his elevator pitch, and then I told him, like, I had PTSD. I totally relate to what you are writing about. And operative word there being had PTSD, because I went to a lot of therapy and did the hard work. And I was ready to like do something creative with that and hopefully help other people start on that kind of journey themselves. And that's all Elliott wanted too. And we just so happened to agree on an art style too. And I was like, I've like had no reason to really just throw myself into a piece of art in a long time. But like, I wanted nothing more than to like really work with him on this. And we settled on like realism. I really like DC comics. And so I was like, let's bring some of that in. And yeah. And then, so very first time, 20 pages done, and it's like, it's the coolest thing ever. It's like my life's kind of been building to this. So
congratulations. That's awesome.
I was actually auditioning a few different people, and I had people who actually had worked in comics before, and Alicia comes back with just this most insane mock-up page I've ever seen. And I said, dude, you have the job. What have you done before? She's like, this is the first time I've ever drawn anything comics related. And I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? This is insane. So it's been so cool to see, one, the story come to life, but two, seeing Alicia's art just grow and seeing what she can really do when she really just puts it full throttle into something like this.
I'm frustrated with like the first 10 pages because I got so much better by the next 10 pages.
That's always the case. That's always the case.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Great question.
That's
You're
fantastic.
also
Congratulations.
oh.
How do you find designing a page for a reader to be guided from panel to panel, Alicia? Did you find it tough to do that, or
Not at all. Honestly, it was because of how well the script was written. Like it was finished and fleshed out the day we met, I think, right?
What you read was fleshed out. I was still working on the last like maybe 2 chapters, but it was literally written in like a movie script. So it was written panel 1, exterior shot. You're going to see this. Here's the scene setting. Here's what we're going to see in the panel. Panel 2, this. If this character is talking, you have the dialogue bubbles and everything. So I tried to lay it out as clearly as possible, almost like a DC method type. So that way, my job is to make whoever the artist is going to be job easier. So if she can read it and it flows in that type of way, that's like, okay, this is what this is going to show, this is what this is going to show, then that's how you have that good teamwork. And that's how I feel you can make it flow well for the reader.
So can I ask Elliott a question? Elliott, you were auditioning, I guess, you were looking for an artist with a story that you basically already written and wanting to make a comic book, right? And that's how you two met. And Alicia, do you live in Chicago?
Yes.
Oh, I think I'm a guest at C2E2 in March coming up, or next year. It'd be nice to meet you. I've been to Chicago. I've never been to C2E2 though.
No, it's great. We're both Chicago.
Oh, you're there too?
Yeah, we're maybe like 20-30 minutes from each other.
Oh, fantastic.
We'll see you there.
Yeah, we'll be there.
But Elliott, so are you the publisher, would you say? Or are you both the publisher? Or is Alicia the artist of your publishing empire? Let's just, lack of a better term.
So we publish through our own publishing company. So we both created Calamity Comics.
You did?
So we believe that, we're in this for the long haul. We work well together. We understand each other really well. So we said, well, let's just go into business together on this. So we're both the publishers of the book. Well, technically Calamity Comics is, but as the entity, but we're the ones making it happen. So we're putting all the capital, we're putting everything into it. We're one talking with the printer, work on distribution, all that stuff.
Oh, great. And my second question is, did you kill the Hamburglar? And is it laying behind you?
Yeah, no, that's a weighted blanket.
Oh, sorry, he just moved out.
Yeah, no, I wish I did. No, that's the heated blanket that I got for Christmas from.
Cool.
Yeah,
That's what he's calling the hamburger, a heated blanket. That's so messed up. When you kill me, please call me something else, man. All right?
I'll call you something with antimatter in there.
Hey, while we're talking about you guys' campaign, why don't I throw it up so we can all take a look? And I definitely want to do this for everybody.
I've been trying to sneak offline and look at the seasons, and I want to throw it up on here. Let's take a look.
Yeah, let's take a look.
Andrew got me to back seasons yesterday. He didn't have to say anything. I saw it and I was like, yeah, here we go.
Cool.
Yeah, thank you, Elliott.
You never know. So Alicia and Elliott, why don't you guys take the reign as we take a look through this?
So we have obviously we met our goal and we have 8 days left. We're grateful for every backer we have. We have a title, You Never Know, #1. This is the cover this is 3 of our illustrations, 3 of our main covers. Well, we have Alicia's main cover. We have the cover C by Mary Landra on the left, and our D more premium cover by Joseph Schmalke. He's done.
Oh, you guys have hired Joe, huh? I know Joe really well.
Oh, love Joe. Yeah, great
Joe's
guy.
Awesome guy.
And if we keep going down a little bit, you're going to get into the main elevator pitch. This is the promotional piece that Alicia did to kind of put the comic out there when we announced that we were making it.
Okay.
Then after it gives you the elevator pitch for the story. And then
Alicia, do you work digitally? I'm sorry to interrupt. Do you work
this is all her at this point.
Yeah, I work a combination. I start off traditional pencil. I sketch something in pencil, then I ink it, upload the ink, and then I'm coloring totally digitally.
Oh, okay. So the line art is traditional.
Yes.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, really neat.
And some of
style too. Like I like the style of it.
Oh, thank you. Something that helped me along. Backgrounds were always way complicated for me, but I was reading Private Dance by Pat Chan and Yishan Lee as the illustrator, and like they use like a Yishan uses like a mixture of photography, like overexposed photography and like tracing, and I kind of started to incorporate that, and it's like my favorite thing in the world.
Oh, nice. As we're talking too, I'm going to throw up the QR code for you guys watching. This QR code will lead right to this Kickstarter, so you can back
Thank
it.
you.
Yeah, absolutely. As we're going through here.
And we have the lettering by Letter Squids. Justin's a great guy.
Oh, I love Justin. I've worked with him before. He's so cool.
He's great. Good dude. Good dude. I've never spoken a word to him other than an email, but he just seems like the most chill dude.
Yeah.
Nice.
I like the expressions on the faces are pretty well done. Like you can tell what they're feeling. Yeah, they're very well done.
Do you have a drawing with it set? Sorry.
What happened?
Sorry.
Somebody talked.
I stepped on Harry. I'm sorry. Harry, finish what you were saying.
Oh no, I was gonna say I hate drawing things that aren't alive, so I appreciate your background. I hate drawing like buildings and cars and things, so I mean people are my specialty if I had to pick something. So I appreciate the faces and whatnot. And you're also a self-taught artist too. When did you know you could draw, and when did you know you were good at it?
Man, I don't think there was a time where I wasn't drawing. So like a wee little one, I should say.
Yeah, I remember I was like, probably 5 years old. I began drawing, and I figured everybody could draw, when I was in kindergarten, first grade, and we went on a field trip to like a circus, and our teacher asked us, she gives us like a 11 by 17 paper, and she says, draw your favorite thing from the circus, and I drew a bear and clowns and a car and spotlights and the three-ring circus, and this kid next to me drew a bear or a seal or a beach ball or something, It's like Harry, all this stuff you just draw this whole thing. Like I'd never been to a circus before, so I drew everything that I love, everything. I filled the entire paper up, with like drawings.
Yeah, you're like, I'm just making it look like real life.
Right, exactly. I just drew everything I liked. Did you also design the logo of your company?
Yeah,
here?
handsome man.
You could go back up. Oh, that's
Yeah,
pretty cool.
The logo is nice, actually. Yeah, I like that.
Yes, thank you.
Diaz Cartoon says he likes the designs as well.
That makes me feel good because that's a new thing for me. Just like
you'd never know that you never did design stuff before.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just sometimes if as an artist you just get it, like, you know what I mean? Like you just get how the designs go together, and in the eye-pleasing, catching kind of way,
Yes, it's actually one of the only things I know how to do. So. Correct.
When is the era in which the book is set?
It's modern times.
It's modern?
I mean,
Okay.
flashbacks go probably anywhere to maybe like late 2000, like 2010s-ish or early 2010s, late 2000s, but it's modern.
Nice. So anybody can really pick it up and feel like it's very relatable to the modern time.
Exactly.
Nice.
And also, anxiety is a theme of this comic. So why is something? Is there a story behind that, or why are you?
The story behind everything, Gary.
So,
I'm
sure.
So I wrote this story when I was in therapy to try to understand what I was going through. So a lot of I would write these notes in my phone about, scenarios that were going on, and use this character as the scapegoat for those scenarios to try to understand what I was going through. And it started as like an exercise to be like, okay, what am I feeling? How am I feeling? Why is this happening? That's also our variant B cover by Emily Ree, New York creator. We love her style so much. We just wanted something a little more less depressing than everything else that we have on the pages.
You know what I get from this cover? I get Scott Pilgrim vibes.
Yeah.
Totally. Totally.
We love Emily. She has such a fun poppy vibe.
That's why I asked what era it was set in, because it kind of does have like this Scott Pilgrim-y kind of vibe with all the characters.
Right.
Yeah.
If you're looking, I know that's in the next page, but no. So I wrote the story to try to understand what I was going through and to And as I was writing, I figured if I could write something to help myself understand it and get through what I was going through, it can help other people. So then it went from writing a story to help myself to how can I write this in a way that other people can relate to it, understand it, and try to understand what they're going through. And we wanted to just open up discussion around mental health, anxiety, and really just address these issues. I actually did a table read with the first issue, the script, at like a author's event in Florida. And I just had the script. I didn't have the story done. I didn't have the artwork. I just had the script. And I had maybe 5 or 6 grown men come up to me and talk to me about how it made them feel, how they related to what went on. And these weren't like quick discussions. I was talking to these guys for like an hour about, I experienced this. This is how I was affected by it. This made me feel this way. Thank you for writing this. And ultimately, we've said before, if one person reads this and is changed by it or affected in some way, that they can learn about themselves and understand what they're going through and realize that they're not alone in this fight, then we've done our job.
That's awesome.
That's great.
And it's really interesting. So like whatever we put out in the world, you hope people relate to and get something out of it, right? But to feel that burden, it almost feels like a burden to me of feeling like, well, I'm going to open up a can of worms, as it were. And then do you feel like you're an authority now in a way so that people can like reach out to you because you presented this material into the world and you're there to help other people? Like, does that come with the comic book? Like this, not this service, but this open door policy? Do you have one like that? Like what?
I mean, if we get to the point where we have hundreds of thousands of followers, it'd be tough to respond to every DM we get. But I think the goal would eventually be to create a community of people who are going through these mental health issues and have anxiety, depression, whatever it is, to be able to say, hey, here's a group of people that understand this, that get it. So you're not alone. Like you might feel like I'm the only one going through this. I'm the only one suffering. I don't have anyone to turn to. But we want to be able to say, no, you're not alone. You are loved. There are people out there going through this just like you are, who you can talk to about this. You don't have to suffer in silence. So, the first part of the story that we have before you even start reading the book is a letter that says, let this be a letter to all those suffering in silence. You're not alone and you are loved. Because we want to emphasize that to people. It's very easy to get lost in your own feelings and shut the world out and not understand what's going on. But when you realize there are people out there who you can talk with, you don't have to just let it all, you don't have to hold it all inside. That's when the progress happens. And that's when we can move forward. And we want to be able to create that community and that platform for that.
And awesome. That comes with like an actionable way of like, oh, you could call this number, not necessarily your number, but a number.
Right. No, not my cell phone. That's for some. That's only people get that.
Exactly.
Donnie has that, but
then it becomes. I remember seeing a panel at Miami Book Fair years ago, where it was, for lack of a better term, 4 or 5 creators that had published, let's say, trauma comics, like they had been traumatized, right? And they were like 20, 21, whatever, when this happened. They made the graphic novel. And this was like 3 years later, and now they're up there talking about it. And some of them were saying, oh my God, it was really great to make this comic and to, again, do what you just spelled out. But now they felt that they were now constantly, that was their label, was that they were this comic. And they were trying to move on from their own comic book. It was really interesting and I never even thought of that. Like, people like, in some ways, if you're lucky, you get known for one thing. At least you're known for something, but you could be, people are complicated and complex. You could do 20 different things. And you're like, I don't want to be known for, my Batman. I want to be known for my other things that I've done, And so it was interesting to me how, like, when you make yourself that vulnerable and assign your name to your trauma or the things that trigger you, and then you become that thing, like that's your billboard, for lack of a better term. It's interesting how to watch then some of those people being like, I reject that and don't want to be that anymore, because they already did. They exorcised it from themselves. It was a catharsis of sorts.
I was just going to say, even when Alicia was talking about coming back to illustrating and, getting into making comics, I wanted to say even then it sounded very cathartic for her. Right. So, and like comics, even in general, whether you're reading them, whether you're making them, it's all very, like you said, it's very personal. And I think it can be a healing thing. Comics can give you what you seek from it, so to speak, right? But then, like you said, that could bite you, because if you then blow up and become known for something super personal that maybe not everybody should be privy to, then that, can you deal with that? Is that something you can work with? You know what I mean?
Right.
Can I just say that, like, to Dean's point, I think at some point you hit it like the nail on the head about how complex people are. I am not afraid for us to get into the typecasting, like the person that said pigeonhole a second ago in the comments, like being typecasted as people that write about like trauma and depression and things like that, because like it is very true to life that we have these problems, and we are also like healing and getting better and living day by day kind of thing. And that's one of my favorite things. One of the pull factors to work on Y&K is that like Elliott's writing from a perspective of somebody who could appear to have it all on the outside. Like our main character, Jason, he's got loving friends and a girlfriend, a job, and he's smart. He's got it all going for him, but he also has anxiety too. And this is one of those really niche times where we're not just talking about anybody having mental health problems, but somebody who probably feels like, I shouldn't be feeling this way, or why do I feel bad when I have so much going for me, kind of thing. The thing is that that people can have mutually exclusive traits. Like you could be successful, make money, have friends, and have a good day, and you can have anxiety too. So like we're approaching this topic from like every angle because we've lived it, and it's also just cathartic to read, honestly. Like even if it gets really dark and depressing, like when I read the entire script, I told Elliott that I had like heartburn and like a stomach ache. I was like, yeah, give me more.
Yeah, I mean, and not for nothing, but I don't know what the specific thing, because I haven't read your comic, but
yet
it sounds great. But man, the world right now is experiencing mutual anxiety. I think, like, it has become an evergreen topic in a lot of ways. We're all freaking out a little bit here and there. Like I can't watch the news anymore.
Yeah.
I can't interpret what the hell is happening right now. It doesn't make sense. And now I'm getting an extra layer of anxiety thrown on top because everything is so uncertain, And then that brings us back to Kickstarter.
The anxiety of Kickstarter.
Wow, that transition was unbelievable, dude.
Well, I think the trade-off of being talented is having self-doubt and anxiety riding on your shoulder at all times. That's just, you know what I mean? Like, and then when you, again, like I was having panic attacks, as I was saying before I launched my campaign, it's because this is an extension of my work and, something I'm proud of. And I was on my own promoting it. So it's like, it really is. I felt like I was by myself on my own against the world. And that definitely weighed so heavily on me because it's something I cared so heavily about.
Well,
and also you're speaking. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Nandor.
Oh yeah, I just wanted to say real quick. Some of my favorite comics, ever made, are from creators who had the vulnerability to put out, some of their life story, or to write, even if it might be hidden, or like with Art Spiegelman with Mouse, and the way he was able to talk about his time, his family's time, his race's time, and I thought of Craig Thompson's Blankets, or James O'Barr's The Crow, and those books are timeless, but they deal with very heavy subject matter that you almost have to sit down and take a breath while you're reading them.
Yeah,
I might be kind of messed up. We all are to make comics, but I like when I finish a comic, I like just feeling like I got gut punched. Like I want to cry. Like I want to feel hurt emotionally, and I want to be able to go to my therapist. Like I just read this comic book. I need someone to listen to what I have to say because I am not okay right now. And that to me are the best stories, because people like to read comics to feel happy, whatever feelings you want to feel, like a fun story. I find it fun to see these real impactful stories that are going on. Like, I can't tell you how many times I read a comic and just cried and been like, this is why we read these. This is why we create these.
Well, and to Dean's point, that's what makes comics so special too, is because there's not that many hurdles to go through. Like, it is just you and the blank page, whether it's just you and the script or you as the artist and what's there. And maybe you have 2 or 3 people that you're working with, but that's it, you know. And if you have a big production or you're trying to sell something, it's like all of that could get lost eventually.
Yeah, no, I love it. I love this discussion. It's
hey, listen, I make comics so I can talk to my therapist. No, I'm kidding. I don't have a therapist. My comics are my therapy, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I think there's something to be said though about having a comic or a story or something that's provocative, because that sticks with you. You remember that. People still talk about the ending of the movie The Mist.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
The in the last 10, 15 years?
Yes.
That was amazing. That was
right.
And even Stephen King, because they changed the ending from the book, even Stephen King was like,
right. Yeah. But that's a very dour, very like non-traditional, very like I guess you would say risque gut punch of an ending. But those are the ones that you remember, that sticks with you.
I think
Reservoir Dogs sticks with
subs-
me. There's nothing good that happens in that movie. You know what I mean?
Right.
For me, it's the Substance, I believe. That movie at the end. I'm like, what the hell?
I love that.
What am I looking at? It kind of almost reminded me of like speaking of weird science, that grotesque monster that the brother got turned into at the end of the movie.
Chet. Yeah.
Actually, if you want to see a precursor to Substance, watch Society.
Yeah, I've seen Society.
There you go.
100%.
I mean, whatever. Substance is fun. I had some problems with it, but whatever. Who cares? I do. What's also important is not only the serious, important comics, right? Like that make you feel and gut punch, but to also be entertained. You know, like I try to entertain. So my comics are more of a hybrid of trying to do something heartfelt, but also make you go, "What the fuck?" and try to have some fun and do both, you know. And I've done memoir, I've done work with Harvey Picard, Jonathan Ames, Inverno Lopez. I've told my own autobio stories. I'm working on a New York Comics anthology that's not been announced with a bunch of people where I'm telling a story there. So these are very important. They're also documentations during a time and space that, you know, will evolve and change for the future. Like just like the comics we were reading, you know, when we were younger, or like Alison Bechdel, you know, like this stuff is great. It's important, you know, but it's also important for me to get some kind of entertainment value out of it as well, because comics are a very powerful medium and really can stick with you, you know. And what's one of the greatest things about comics is it encourages the reader to make comics, because the access point is paper and pen or iPad or whatever, you know. So I guess with Alicia, I guess what's interesting to me is like it's almost like you were looking for a project like this to activate the cartoonist in you, you know.
That's right. That's right. Like I'm just not. I can't even like read that many. I don't have like a huge variety of comics that I like, or music or anything like that. I like what I like, and it's a lonely little island that I'm on, but like occasionally.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Like, what's some examples, like Alicia? Like, give us what's some of your island stuff that I'd love to know.
Let's see. So, the first comic that really stuck with me was Mouse by Art Spiegelman.
Okay. Yeah.
Then a long time passes before I could read really anything again. I like more like classic literature. So I'm talking high school. I was reading like Catcher in the Rye, and I really like Shakespeare and stuff. But those are not comics. And then I really got into DC. So I have been reading like a lot of like Watchmen and V for Vendetta.
Nice.
And the more classic DC kind of things.
Yeah, like the Vertigo stuff. That some of it was pre-Vertigo, I guess.
Yes, and then I realized that like I stick to comics where I can learn something from each of them. At first, it was like the latent content of like the history in Mouse, but then like I'll pick up anything that has George Jimenez's name on it in DC or Bruno Redondo. And there's just certain artists who I'm like, okay, because I'm going to use it for research and learn how to draw this, learn how to draw that.
Nice.
Yeah.
You know, based on the little bit I saw of your comic, and this is a veer, and I'm just going to throw it out there. I think if you don't already know of Adrian Tomine, I think you might like his stories and artwork. He did a comic called Optic Nerve, but he also has done many graphic novels, and his name is Adrian, Tomine, and I don't know exactly how you pronounce it, and he made a whole comic about that, about how people can't pronounce his name. That's like Tomine, and he lives a few blocks from here in Park Slope by me here in Red Hook. And then another, you guys are familiar with the Luna Brothers?
Yeah, I know.
They did a series called Girls, The Sword, Ultra. I feel like there's also, you might dig some of their kind of like storytelling and choreography.
I actually have a copy of Ultra downstairs.
Oh, you do? Cool. So then you know Elliott, what I'm talking about. Like, I feel like there's something there also for Alicia to check out, to be inspired by. I mean, I'm always looking at stuff to be inspired by, you know, like, you gotta, you know.
Like, even if everybody around me is raving about something that's super popular, like, if I take one look at it and it's like the artwork is not something I want to draw, I'm like, I'd rather pass and come back to something that I do want.
You're just a snob. You're just a super snob.
You know, like, she knows what she likes. It's not not that hard.
No, guys, I got to be out by 10 just to give you a heads up.
Yeah, so why don't we
campaigns? But I did want to see Nandor's. So by the way, is that really your name, Nandor? Like from the TV show with the vampires?
Yeah, it's Hungarian.
That's
Hungarian
awesome.
name.
That is awesome.
And
you also sound like a planet. It sounds like a planet too. Oh, Andor. Whatever.
Doesn't he have like the best voice too? It's like very silky.
Yeah.
It's like midnight overnight. It's
like David Allen Boucher and
exactly.
Magic.
No, I was going to bring up Nandor's next because Nandor, yours kind of deals with trauma too, but also I think it's kind of like what Dean was saying, where it's like a kind of a hybrid, where it's like you're entertaining with doing like a little bit of the superhero genre, but you're also
some window dressing happening.
Trauma as well. Yeah, let me pop it up here, and then Dean, before you go out at 10, we want to look at your campaign as well.
Yeah, just a quick. I mean, their comics seem to talk about trauma. Mine traumatizes.
Trauma,
nothing. Across, like, you need this in order to get that, or whatever. Anyway,
yeah,
it's like we all represent different ends of the spectrum.
That's right.
There you go. All right, so this is Seasons. Go ahead, Nandor, take it away.
Yeah, so this is my origin story. Like, this is my book that I first put out right out of high school. I was like 19, 20 years old, and I wanted to put out a graphic novel, and I started Seasons as a webcomic for people to read for free, and was able to crowdfund the first volume as a hardcover graphic novel, and eventually the second volume, and now I'm all sold out. And so before we get to volume 3, I wanted to reintroduce the series for people and give them a chance to pick it up. And this is a supernatural, grounded superhero story about a young man whose abilities change with every passing season of the year. So he's having to take on these different entities, these different foes with each book, but it tells this 1-year story that takes him from kind of this dark place, this pit, I like to call it, and brings him out into the wilderness. And, he has his own hero's journey of trying to figure out who he was always meant to be and to find his destiny and to fulfill his potential. So all of his powers kind of work as tools for him to learn how to use them, learn how to defeat the things that get in his way and the obstacles in his way to healing and to find himself and to right wrongs and to make amends with the past. And it's each book's over 100 pages. This by the end of it, it's going to be almost 400 or 500 pages, and it's just an exploration, a character study of personal responsibility and being able to find your purpose and what that looks like.
That's really
This
cool.
is like the exact opposite of M. Night Shyamalan's movie, The Happening. Like, like nature's trying to kill you, but but now nature's giving him powers.
Yeah, exactly. It's empowering him. It's
Right.
It's kind of slapping him in the face and going, what are you doing with your life?
Well, it's also it's almost like if Akira grew up and kept evolving over and over again every year or something.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
I popped up the QR
I think of
code
seasonal
there
depression,
for
right?
seasons. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, for sure. And it's a really beautifully illustrated book by my collaborator Anthony Gonzalez Clark. This was his first book as well.
Oh wow.
We got into comics together, and we wanted to really make a statement with our work and what we could do. And we've been working together for years now, and he's only gotten better, as you can imagine, and it's been really exciting. And it's also really almost in a meta narrative way, like visually, like to show as Fletcher heals, like the art style just gets better and better and like more complete, and it's like you get to see all of these pieces fall into place. So it's been amazing. It's been a lot of fun.
That's great.
But yeah, there's original art you can pick up with this campaign. You can get cover art. You can get some original pages. I also have my other books available, such as Man-Child or The Fabled Offering, Lifeline. And I have my entire catalog for people to check out. And this book, has been picked up by Source Point Press and will be in the direct market sometime next year. So
Awesome.
I'm super
gonna bring that up. Yeah, that's your first publishing deal, right? Yeah,
yes,
that's awesome,
for
man.
sure.
Congratulations.
And I've read, I haven't read Seasons, but I have read Man-Child, and I really like that book.
Yeah,
that you
Man-Child's
do,
an awesome
Nandor.
book.
And
Thank
I
you.
haven't read. I have the PDF for Fabled Offerings, but I haven't read that yet. But I will at some point. I'm behind on everything now.
No, I understand. Yeah.
Nandor, were you at Baltimore? Where you live? Where are you at?
I'm in Missouri, so I have been to C2E2, and I was just at New York.
Okay, I was there.
Yeah.
And I just saw Dirk Manning at Baltimore Comic Con, and I think he's become like the editor-in-chief now of.
Yeah,
Source
he's the
Point.
publisher. Yeah.
Oh, he's the publisher now, right?
Yeah. Yeah, he's
Right.
awesome. He's the one who. Or yeah, go ahead.
No, that was your first time at New York Comic Con, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So what'd you think?
Oh man, I fell in love with it. I didn't want to leave. Like I loved New York. I loved being around everyone there. And for a Midwestern kid like myself, like I was very overwhelmed, but I was really excited because I don't have a lot of people who make comics that I know in my area. So to be able to be around people who understand you, like it's a shorthand, like it's almost like a secret language, like you're playing in a band together. It's really, really exciting.
I feel bad because we were at the same Creator AfterCon event, and I talked to you for maybe 2 seconds. And
right,
like,
yeah, I know, it was crazy. I was like, wait a second, I think I met you very briefly.
Yeah, it was just so
Small
much
world.
going on. We didn't get a chance to really talk.
And that's the beauty of Creator AfterCon is that we all can congregate at a bar, and it's just like extending the conversations that we couldn't have at like Creator Connection on the floor or at the booth, because it just gets so busy. So to have that time at a bar that hosts us is just so awesome.
That's the highlight of New York Comic Con for sure.
Yeah.
Awesome. And then I'll leave the QR code up for a few more minutes. That's the link right to Seasons 1 and 2 Kickstarter there. I also
Thanks,
put
Keith.
the direct link. Yeah, no problem. Direct link into the comments as well, so check that out. But yeah, no, like I love. There's a theme tonight with the trauma stuff in comics, you know.
Well, comics are so personal.
It's so uplifting.
It's great.
Anything
And,
anything traumatic happen to Kid Switch at all, or
no. No, my comic has nothing to say but just entertainment, like just a wild. I had started it 10 years ago, but right before like the multiverse became like a huge thing, and now I feel like I'm like chasing that trend instead of like being before it. But I feel like I still have a unique take on the multiverse thing with Kid Switch, so I wanted
talk
to
about
finish
Kid Switch for a minute, like.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's just another love letter to cartoons. It's like I always loved like teen superheroes. Like I always loved like Billy Batson.
Yeah.
And like, what it was like to be a kid but also be a superhero, and you know, young, like the early issues of Spider-Man, Young Justice, stuff like that, like the Super Sons. Like I love characters like that. So Kid Switch is kind of like a love letter to that kind of character. And the way it ties into the multiverse is this kid finds a glove that can breach the multiverse, but it breaches the multiverse in a weird way. So like, say, you know, he used the power on like this iPhone. So in another reality, this might not be an iPhone. This might be like a hunk of plastic, or it might be a larger phone, or it might be, you know, and he has the ability to take that item from another dimension and bring it into his reality. So that's how it kind of works. But then you kind of find out that these gloves belong to like these beings that go around and repair dimensional rifts. And to them, it's just their work gloves. But to us, it's like these unbelievable, like items of power, you know? So
that's so cool.
You should play
and
your
then
trailer.
the villain has the opposite glove. So it's almost like that He-Man and Skeletor thing where, you know, like one has the power sword, the other one has the whatever the matching thing Skeletor had, but like it's that kind of thing, you know. Just a fun adventure story, but like just
That sounds like a lot of fun. I almost, for some reason, you also reminded me, for a different reason. Remember Dial H for Hero?
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
I could see you doing like a riff on that too.
I actually have something in development.
Oh, really?
With that idea.
Oh, cool.
But it's something I've been wanting to write for a while, so I might try to get that out next year.
I mean, that's something DC should really put out. Like when they were doing the Bizarro comics, you know, and you got indie people to do their takes, and I was involved in that. And then Marvel did Strange Tales, and I love those kinds of comics, right?
Dial H for Hero was amazing.
That would be perfect to get indie people. You give them one issue and let them play.
Yeah.
You know, with this idea. Come on, right?
Or even like Human Target. Human Target would be perfect for that. Right,
Yeah,
different
man.
target, like, you know, guy of the week, you know, story of the week,
Totally.
and different indie styles, different indie creators. I mean, that'd be so cool.
Totally.
Oh, absolutely.
Because Dean's time's limited, we should bring up his campaign and check things out.
Oh yeah. I just wanted to show
excited. Oh, sorry, go
Dean
on.
real quick, like some of the. I'll show you
please.
guys the Kid Switch real quick. I'll just go through it really quick, but like this is the character Joey Switch
cool.
with the glove. And
Let me see the glove for a second. Go back to the glove. Okay. Well, that's pretty elaborate. Can I draw that every panel, please? Thank you.
That's really Gazbot, right?
Yeah, Gazbot designed it, but it has these weird wires that go around his arm and like plug into the back of his neck.
Right.
It's like some weird idea I had, but like
it's a cortex, man. It's getting to his cortex.
Yeah, there you go.
It's very Matrix.
I called it the grounding wires, so it would
go.
ground you to a specific dimension, so they knew,
cool.
you know. So it's like there's some science behind it too, or my wacky science, I should say.
Yep.
But here's some of the pages from the book. This is the villain who has the other glove, looking for it, basically.
Oh, so it's definitely a Thanos riff, a little bit, like with the glove and the Thanos. Like, I love it.
A little bit. I was thinking more. I was more riffing on something like Ben 10, like
Oh, okay.
kid that
Yeah,
has,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
like a
Because
watch.
this issue came out when, Keith? How long ago did issue 1 get made?
Issue 1, I was developing like back in 2015, 2014, somewhere around there.
Yeah, so I mean that was well.
This is an
before,
unfinished
like,
project
Infinity
that's been
War,
eating at
yeah.
me that I've been wanting to finish for a long time. But yeah, these are some of the pages. This is the first artist I worked with, Gazbot. Me and him
Right.
went to the Kubert school together.
Oh, cool.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. So, and he's such a great artist. Like,
wait, Keith, do you draw?
I draw a little bit, but I'm more like a cartoonist, like more like a Sunday comic kind of look.
That's cool. That's cool.
And so, like, I know my strengths. Like, I know I couldn't draw like
this, right?
Yeah, exactly. So I kind of hire people to kind of bring it to life for me, but I can draw a little bit.
Right.
And it does help with my, like, when I letter, like my sense of design and things like that.
Sure.
If it
and
helps,
here's some
I
pages
draw-
from issue 2. What's up?
I would say if it helps, I draw so well that it makes Alicia really want to draw. So,
Yep. She's like, that's okay. I got this.
That's,
Yeah, right.
That's a cute sound in the corner.
Like, here's just a thought. Here's a thought.
Here's a thought.
Let's not and say we did.
So
look at
here's the ability in action. Like, see, his glove shoots this
That's
junkyard rat, and the rat in this other reality is this monstrous thing.
Right.
I love the colors.
That could be a lot
too.
of fun because you never know what's going to happen when you're stealing something from another dimension, but how it transposes, right? Like,
yeah, it's either going to help you or hurt you because
it's like he keeps looking for the money tree. Where's the money tree?
Yeah.
Just
and the other
sparks
drawback is
trouble.
once you use it, you have a recharge period. So if you bring the wrong item, it's not going to work. And then here's some of the covers this is the main cover. And
look at that.
this is the B cover by artist
Right.
John Mills.
Right.
C
Cool.
cover by Frankie B. Washington.
Mm.
Oh, I love Frankie.
Yeah, Frankie's art is awesome. And then this is cover 2, the main cover by Marcelo Santana.
Wow.
And this one is
Skullguard.
by Jorge Pacheco. This is cover B.
Nice.
And then cover C by the original artist Gazbot, which hasn't been completed yet.
Right.
That's cool.
And then
So variant covers, huh?
yeah, you should think about it, Dean. I mean, I think you're leaving some money on the table there.
I think you're right.
Variant covers are just as much as fun for the audience as they are for the creators, because I
Right.
love seeing the different art styles of different works. Like Alicia, for you, I know you love seeing the characters you made in these different styles, right?
Yeah, like, oh man, I was just gonna say something about that. Yep, you are correct.
You gotta get Art Spiegelman to do a variant cover.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
We should bring up Dean's page.
I am. Yeah,
I remember what I was gonna say. Okay, so I designed a character like beforehand. It was just a script. He kind of wrote the character descriptions. I was basically the first one to draw the characters, and then so you get these other artists coming back with those like design pieces, like in their own way. And some of these things, like, they look wild from other perspectives, and I'm like, that is really cool.
Right.
Like almost like alternate universe characters, of your character, like if they exist somewhere else, a different plane.
Oh yeah,
Well,
absolutely.
Kind of what Dean was talking about before with Jim Food's bootleg comics. He's doing like a riff on Spider-Man meets Deadpool. So it's like the character is like kind of like Spider-Man and Deadpool, where Deadpool was just a riff on Spider-Man to begin with.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna pop up a QR code. This is for Dean's Antimatter.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. And then I want to definitely look at the campaign here too.
I'm excited about
Dean,
this
I
book.
love your artwork. I don't know if I've ever told you that, but I love your artwork.
Wait, could you say it again?
I love your artwork.
Say it again. No.
This looks like this looks like a Dean Haspiel mixtape.
Yeah, totally.
Exactly.
Totally.
You're
yeah,
like,
so I mean, it like I said at the beginning, but I'll repeat here. it's my 5th Kickstarter, and I decided, I've been doing these one shots of these different characters. Why don't I put them all in an umbrella title? But they all have individual stories. It's not like I'm doing a crossover event. That could happen in the future, maybe, if it yielded that. But I have this Red Hook character, have COVID Cop and his ex-wife, Fate Majeure. And then you got Billy Dogma, Jane Legit. And then underneath, hold them all up, is Chestface. And so these are the 4 comics that I've published already. And now I'm combining their stories under one umbrella title that, and I can, and one story will be featured over the others. Like this one, COVID Cop Insurrection, right? Which I wrote 2 years ago. And I didn't even have that title then, but I've written it. And then when I was done with some projects and I looked at the script again more recently, usually you look at something, you go, well, how do I need to update this or change it or what's not working? I didn't have to change a sentence. It was bizarre. So I felt really good about that. And then I came with this cover image, and then there's some more pages underneath. I think the pencils of the first page, which, I censored a little bit, but it's just a butt cheek, honestly. Like whatever. I got thrown under the bus at Instagram for SHP Comics. I was telling you about AI Joe and this erotic comic anthology. They did that thing where you become like a collaborator on a post.
Yeah.
And they had censored the images of covers, like a Howard Chaykin cover and their regular cover, and it was all covered up. And I was like, sure, and Instagram banned me from doing live stream, Instagram Live now, which has been very key to the success of me promoting myself, because I go on there and I talk to other people and I talk to you or whoever, right? And it does, raise awareness and get people over to my Kickstarter. And I'm banned till October 2026, a whole year.
What?
And I'm like, what the hell's going on?
Are you kidding me?
And I can't see. I can go on Instagram and do everything else. So I don't understand it. And
Can
I'm
you
trying
do
to
it on Face? Do you have Facebook? Can you do live on there?
I guess I'll do all that. Like, I'm going to do some Hail Marys before this ends in 7 days.
That's
or less.
crazy.
But it really hurt me, between that and I feel like the Kickstarter employee strike, anyway, here's what AI Joe looks like. And in fact, in terms of censoring, this is a splash page. It goes a little lower, and there's some other bits that I am not. And that's him trying to figure out his lover, with a lot of choices, some legs and arms, but ears and whatever, you'll see. And then the next page is the second page of the COVID Cop story that's going to be in Antimatter, where they're in Times Square. And this takes place like 10 years from now. And in that blank area above, because I'm going to obviously be putting ads and stuff, is going to be that first page of that naked couple. And that I'll explain that. Well, you'll understand that when you read the comic. Okay. And then what else do I have? There's like, these are part of the tiers where I will be doing sketches of the Red Hook on a piece of cardboard paper that will, pop in with the comic. So you can get some original art. And then, those are the tiers. This is a No Kings print that I made that did pretty well, actually, during Baltimore Comic-Con on that day that everyone was protesting the No Kings. Mm-hmm. Then I have a Dogma print with Jane Legit over here that's also available. And then coming up, I know that I also offer, a head and shoulders drawing, a full figure drawing, commissions. These are the comics that you can also get if you haven't gotten any of those in my campaign. And here's an example of a Red Hook one-pager. I've been doing this strip, the Red Hook strip, recently for the Red Hook Star Review, a local paper that's published once a month here. And I'm curating a comics block with actually other cartoonists that are in this studio space that I share. So that's been a lot of fun. Thank you, Amy. And I'm trying to think, is there anything more after that, or is that?
One thing you should say too, Dean, that like this anthology, all the stories are new, right?
They're all brand new. The first issue is probably going to be 40. No. It's not like a collection. No. It's all new stories. and it'll be about 40 pages. And if I do more, which I plan to, I'm not numbering these in terms of like talking like about Kickstarter strategies. This is the spring 2026 edition, so I want to feel it like a magazine, you know. And then maybe there'll be a fall 2026, which is clearly the second issue. But they should all be able to stand alone. Or in my case, you know, this is actually a sequel to the first COVID Cop, but you don't need the first COVID Cop because it'll be covered what happened in the second one. And if I do a third one, the same idea, because it's hard to do a series, you know, and I commend people who are still trying to pull that off. I'm sure there is a strategy that I'm not thinking of right now, but I think about my buddy Vito Del Sante, you know, who I do a podcast weekly with called Vito Vino. And Vito did a series called Stray, and he was doing like a 5 or 6 issue series, and each consecutive campaign I think did less and less, because even though you could catch up on stories, it was just becoming more and more difficult, you know, for him to try to sell issue 3 or 4. So, and you had to read all the others before that. So there is a way, I think, to like, I mean, Marvel Comics does it every month, don't they? If they're telling like a serialized story in Fantastic Four, they probably, you know, write a paragraph of in case you missed the previous, you know, issues.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. I like that.
And to that point, you mentioning your podcast with Vito, Dean, that's actually offered as a tier where you can come on the podcast.
Come on the podcast and we'll talk about you.
So to that point, other indie creators, take advantage of that tier, because what you can do is you can actually, that's a tax write-off, because you're basically doing promotional work for your product. So you could write that off for your taxes. So I would highly recommend, this is an awesome book, back that tier. That way you can jump on the show. You could utilize Dean and Vito's social media output and get a little bit of eyes on your work.
Totally. No, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. So yeah, this is what I do. Keith, you were saying how you had a cartoony style. I feel like my style is very cartoony because, you know, I love Jack Kirby, Alex Toth. Although they're very sophisticated artists, you know, they would be considered cartoony today, you know?
Right.
Especially
I see some Darwin Cook too in your stuff.
Darwin Cook, thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, again, I love those artists, you know? And, you know, I was an assistant to Howard Chaykin, Walt Simonson, and Bill Sienkiewicz in 1985, 17 going on 18.
Wow.
And, you know, senior year of high school, and hopping a subway to go downtown to their studio and helping them out on Thor, American Flag, New Mutants, Elektra Assassin. It was incredible, you know? And so a lot of my learning was that full year, you know, because comics for a long time were like considered a bastardized art form for children, you know, or whatever.
Yeah.
And, you know, then the likes of Mouse happens, or, you know, Dark Knight, Watchmen, Fun Home, you know, all the comics we're doing, right?
This is what my art looks like. This is what my art looks like.
That's great.
Oh,
that's
thanks,
awesome, man.
That's why I wanted to be a comic strip artist originally.
You can see it. You can see it.
So.
It's great.
Oh,
it's great.
Yeah, sometimes
guys, I gotta hop, unfortunately, but listen, it was a great conversation. I'm sorry if I rambled a little too much at times. But
it was great, Dean.
We love having you on, man.
You
Please, we'd love to have you back for the future.
Thank you, of course, guys. You know, and good luck to everyone's campaign. All right.
It's nice to meet you.
Yeah, pleasure to meet you.
Hopefully, I'll see you guys in Chicago. And when I show up in Missouri someday,
you might see me in Chicago. I wanna go to C2E2. I've only been once last year, and I'd like to go again next year.
All right, so if you guys show up and everyone here,
Johnny
all wind up, let's get a drink.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Right?
So okay, if we're all going to C2E2, like the plan is right now, we're going to Pisano's next to the Wintrust Arena for awesome deep dish pizza and a pitcher of beer.
All right, I'm down.
Do it.
I'm down.
On me.
Awesome.
All right,
Dean,
well,
thanks
I
a lot.
just hit the red button. Do I need to just hang on while it downloads or something like that or whatever? Or are we good?
No, you're good.
I have no idea.
All right, I don't know.
You're good.
Different
I think
platforms,
you just created AI Joe.
But I don't know what I'm doing. Anyway. All right, mwah. I'll talk to you guys
Dean.
later.
All right, good night, man.
Take care, Dean. I love that guy. He's the man.
Good dude. Good
The
dude.
best. I still forgot to have him tell his Gigi Allen story. It's friggin' nuts.
Man, I bet you
Next
that's
time. Next time.
You have to have something for next time.
Yeah, exactly. We'll always tease it, and we'll never have him say it. Tell it.
It's like that SNL.
Gag. Yeah.
The SNL bit where they always have to bump Lindsey Buckingham at the end of the show.
Yeah. Yeah. What was it? The one with Keenan, right?
Yeah. Oh, what's up with that?
Yeah. What's up with that?
What's
I
up with
love
that?
that one. And Jason Sudeikis just dancing in the background.
The
doing,
best.
like-
Always
yeah,
doing the running
best.
man.
That's so good. On that note, anyone watching The Chair Company on HBO Max?
No, I've seen it advertised, but it looks really good.
Well, like Tim Robinson, I just discovered him like I don't know, like 6 months ago with the movie Friendship, and I've been doing deep dives in everything he's doing, and it is such the funniest show. But it's like absurd humor. Like I don't know how to describe his type of humor.
It's like awkward, cringe, absurd humor. Yeah,
That's my kind of humor.
Funny. It's really funny. He's like one of the funniest guys I've seen in a long time. You know,
you know what it is? It's almost like he's doing the Tom Green shtick, but like he figured it out. Like it's funny.
Yeah, right.
Tom Green was just idiocracy. Like he's actually like making comedy through absurdity and weirdness. You know what I mean? And there's very few people who can do that well. Like I point to Andy Kaufman, who could do it well, you know, even John Ritter in certain ways could do it well. Like, pratfalls come in that kind of humor.
He is so underrated as a physical comedian, John Ritter. He's like one of the greatest ever.
Yeah, greatest ever. My top.
Correct. You are correct.
Nice. Yeah. So, anything else going on, guys? Like, I guess Jay Mooers is not coming tonight. Like, I thought he said he'd be here by 9:30.
Oh no.
He probably spaced, but that's okay. We can we can always either bump him or redivide up the time amongst the remaining guests.
Yeah, exactly.
Which
Anything
I
else
think
you guys want to talk about. Like, I don't know. I'm just chill tonight. Like, I don't really have any subjects or anything.
I will say in exciting news, Alicia actually only has one panel left of the issue. Not a page, one panel, and then we're ready to go to printing.
Really?
Wow.
Congrats. That's awesome.
What's holding up this one panel? It's one panel.
One panel.
Nothing's holding it up. It's just it's happening. Elliott and I designed it last night. It was something else that was almost completely done, and then we looked at it and we're like, "That's not it."
Okay.
This
So
page
you
actually is
guys
off a little bit.
might
from the
even
script.
go to print before the campaign's over, huh?
Realistically, I mean, the lettering is done because this page doesn't have any lettering on it. We might have our letterer take a look, say, "Hey, is there anything we can add?" But otherwise, the lettering's done. We have to for our editor to read over, and then after that, then it's good to go to print.
Sweet. How is it
So-
working with an editor? I've never worked with one.
It's fun. It's as a writer, it is the most humbling thing you will ever go through. When I did the first draft of the story, it was only like 4 issues maybe, and she read it and she goes, "Are we allowed to swear on this podcast?"
Of course.
Sure.
Okay, I know.
Fuck
She reads
yeah.
it. I'm talking about. So she reads it and she goes, "This is shit, but we can work with it." So I was like, "All right, let's go." So then she pushed me to write 5 more issues out of it to make it a fully fleshed out story, and then became the story that we had today. So I would go through just the writing process of, just scene setting and then dialogue. We go through that, and then we go to scripting, and then she goes through the script with me and makes her edits and all that stuff. Like she'll do line edits and copy edits. So she'll do the grammatical edits and also the story edit to make sure everything flows and makes sense. And it's so, I like to think I'm a good writer, but you don't realize how little you know until you have somebody who has been through the ringer, who has done this so many times. Like, this doesn't make sense. You need to have this here. You need to have this here. And it pushes you as a writer to really push the boundaries of what you're able to do and make your work better. And then from like an artist perspective, she's not really an art creator, but we'll send her certain things And then she'll be like, this needs to change, this needs to change. And it's just very humbling to see how much of a having a third eye on the project who's not really emotionally invested in the story the same way we are, to just be matter of factly, this needs to change, it needs to be like this for this reason.
Well, okay.
All right, I got a few questions to go around the room.
I've actually just now with Steve Orlando on this new project that I'm working on. He's my editor on the book, and
that's crazy. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's wild. It's wild because I'm a big fan, and so it's weird to like work with someone you're a fan of, and also like, but I've learned so much, and it's been grueling at times. Because this is the first time I've worked with an editor, but it's been also very validating at times, because there are some things that he'll send me notes back and he'll go like, this is an amazing line, or like, he's very good at complimenting you where he's excited, he's very honest, and so thankfully a lot of the story was very fully formed. And even when I got to meet him in New York and we were talking about it, he was like, I kept thanking him, for picking up the book and for wanting to work on it and for editing it. And he was like, look, man, like I appreciate it, but like you did it all, like you had it, and it's just, we're trying to make it the best it can possibly be. But like you had all of the ingredients that we needed to make this meal. So it's been great, but it has been it's been a lot of work, because when you think something's done and then you get told it's not done, it's like, oh crap, like how do I rethink this, how do I make this it's almost like you're in school and you're hoping your paper gets graded well, it's like, right. And like, how do I know this is what the teacher's going to want? Or how do I know this is what the teacher, what the syllabus is looking for? Right. So, but no, I mean, it's made me really appreciate editors, but also made me a better script writer. And I know moving forward what to look out for, and whether it's just
see things in a different light.
Because I'm having to Steve's coming from the big two and from working with Marvel and DC and other editors that he's worked with. So I mean, I've learned so much, and I'm so grateful for him and what he's been able to teach me, because I feel like I'm going through my own boot camp with it. Yep. So it's been great. Like, I'm super excited for what we're working on.
You had someone, sorry, Elliott, didn't mean to step on you.
I'm sorry.
You had somebody tell you that the magic was inside you all along, like it was a fucking movie, kid. Like, that's awesome. Like, talk about checking off a box.
Yeah.
Like your life is an Amblin movie.
Yeah. It was really, really sweet of him. And, I mean, I know he's working on so many things, and he's done so much. But he anytime I tried to thank him, he'd always bring it back and put it back on me and be like, hey, like you did the work. I'm just here to help. So
right.
Really sweet.
That's cool. Yeah, that is really cool. And Elliott, what were you saying? I didn't mean to step on you, man.
Oh no, you're good. I was saying, because Harry, I think you said you had some questions earlier.
Well, yeah, it's like fun questions that aren't really related to anything, really, which is what I do. So
questions. He is
the time lord of tangents. So.
Right. So Elliott, not only are you a lawyer, but you also are a runner, marathon runner. Have you ran New York or Boston?
I've not ran New York, or I'm not fast enough to run Boston yet. The last one I did was the Indianapolis Marathon last year, and that was not great coming right off of, because it was New York. I was training for that while I was doing New York Comic Con. So imagine doing like a 15-mile run in Central Park and then walking the show floor all Saturday.
Oh.
Yeah. Or like I'd be up at like 5 just to run like 7 or 8 miles and then go to the con. So
that's nuts.
it's not great. I did that this year too, but I only have a half marathon this weekend, so it's not, I don't have to do the full, okay, I'll do a little less today because it's not as far. So, but still, I would be averaging like 30,000 steps a day because I already ran like 8 or 10 miles in the morning and then went to the show.
I can't run 8 miles in like a week, but but the last time I ran, I used to run around my block in my hometown before I moved to Leominster with but not that you know where that is. But anyway, back I used to run the block about a mile, and the last time I ran around this like weird trail that I go, and then I ran around this giant boulder, and there was like a giant like a family of deer staring at me. So there was like a few baby deer, fawns, and like an adult male looking at me, and we were like locked eyes.
Did you get like did it bang its hoof into the ground?
Well,
gonna charge you.
I thought my life was over.
They
at
do
that
that.
moment.
Like we have them in our yard all the time, and the mother deer looks at us.
That's what I
and
thought.
like
That's what I thought would happen.
it's like a pouting,
Because
like
they-
almost like a pouting, like they just slam their hoof in the ground and like
He felt like
my-
Will
my-
Wheaton in Stand By Me.
yeah.
Right. I'm like, this is how I'm gonna die, So I'm like, the deer wasn't moving. I couldn't move. I'm like, what am I gonna do here? The thing's gonna charge at me and like impale me. So I slowly bent down and I grabbed a rock, and I was gonna like throw it at it, if it came at me. But luckily, the last second it got startled and ran away. But thank the guy, and I haven't ran since. Right. So I'm still here. I'm still alive.
Were you gonna kill it with a rock?
He's gonna throw a rock at a majestic
that
animal.
That was my last resort. Speaking of animals,
my goodness.
Alicia, you like insects? I read in your little profile there. Are you the kind of person that would? What's your favorite insect? And are you the kind of person that would like capture safely like a moth or a bee in your house and release it, or a spider maybe?
Yeah.
Are you the kind of person?
So, like, I think the last insect I saved was like in my dishes and couldn't get out of a baking pan, and it was one of those little silverfish. And he just hadn't had any water in a while, so he was like super just sitting there, like, help me. And I'm like, okay. Give him some water. Yeah, my favorite insects would be ants. I love ants. I could go on 5 ever because it's longer than 4 ever about ants and how cool they are.
Oh, why? What's your? Just go on 5 minutes, 2 minutes.
Do we want to open this can of worms?
Yes.
They are so cool. Like, they are all females. There are no males. The queen, there's like a queen in charge of everybody who makes all the eggs and the babies and everybody, and they take care of her. And she chooses to have some males, like, eventually, and they are the ones with wings. They leave the nest with their wings to go find other queens to mate with. They are really selfless. Like, they have 2 stomachs. They fill their social stomach first, not their personal one. They return to the colony and they link up with an ant who hasn't eaten yet. And they kind of like vomit into each other's mouths and they fill both their stomachs. So it's like, oh, you haven't eaten in a while? Here's some food. I'm like, oh my God, like the sweetest animals.
I think the real question that everybody wants to know now is ants or Bugs Life?
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
What about Ant-Man? What do you think of that?
That's tricky because I think Zach Tyler Eisen was the kid in Ants, and he's also Avatar Aang. So I kind of have to say that one, but
Nice,
Bugs Life
yeah.
was a way better movie.
or Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Oh, don't even.
Great one. Great one.
Wow.
Right.
Awesome. Wow. I think that's the most I've ever known about ants.
There's so much
I know,
more.
right?
DM me.
Harry, do you have any other of your weird questions?
For Nandor, it was more of like a writing thing. So why do you? So this is one of your first stories, seasons. Why do you think it took this long? I mean, now that you're a better writer too, why do you think it was in the back burner for this long and it's coming out now? Besides the publishing deal you have.
Yeah, so there's a few things about it. It was these are such large volumes that when I got done with volume 2, and was thinking about volume 3. I knew that was going to be, you know, like it ended up being around 140, 150 pages, and I wanted to wait to get to the last 2 and work on other projects and to you know, stretch my muscles as a writer, you know, and build my portfolio. That's something that's been really important for me as a writer, to show what else I can do, because you know, I had the first 2 volumes of Seasons and I was like, cool, like people are enjoying this and they like what they're reading, you know, through the webcomic and whatnot. And then I was like, well, before I finish the series, I feel like I need to build my fan base and explore other genres. And you know, Seasons has never left me, but I thought, if I really want this series to take off in the way that I feel like it deserves, I need to gather, you know, more troops, you know, to help me build this series and to make this, you know, be a really exciting event to be a part of, and an exciting series to be a part of. And
like an army of ants almost.
There you go. Yeah, perfect. And so, you know, with working on my other projects and trying to build connections that way, I felt like it was a good way for me to, hey, if you do like Manchild, or if you do like Fabled Offering, or if you do like Lifeline, check out Seasons. You know, like this is the book that started it all for me. And if you like what I'm doing, you know, pick this up. And so yeah, in everything, it was kind of serendipitous, and I knew eventually I was going to have to re-release these stories because of looking at my inventory and being like, man, like these are almost gone. I don't really see a point continuing it until I can reprint these and get these out again and have people rediscover them. And you know, now I feel like that was the right call, because I've been able to build so many more connections, and with SourcePoint wanting to pick it up, you know, Dirk Manning just took it over this year. And so if I would have tried to finish the series, you know, without a publisher backing it before, I feel like, you know, I'm glad I waited. Like, waiting paid off in a way that it wouldn't. Usually you wouldn't think, oh, just finish it. Like some creators, they work vertically, I've heard, or horizontally. So you can either just stick with one series, you know, and that's your thing, and that's your brand, and that's all you have, which is awesome, and you can build a fan base around that. Or you can have multiple things kind of going and alternate. And that's what I found to be what I wanted to do, and what I thought would be more exciting, and building my brand and being able to share other stories with people.
Nice. Yeah, one thing I I wanted to compliment you on, Nandor, and also wanted to see if you wanted to let us run it on the channel. But I love the series you did on your YouTube channel about making Seasons. Like, you really kind of broke down the process of comic book making and all the different aspects. I love that series you did. It was kind of like,
thank
like
you.
an essay series, and like,
yeah,
it's really good. Like,
well, that means
can I borrow them for our channel? Could I like have those videos and put it up?
Yeah,
as a
do you want to get
playlist
syndicated?
Yeah, no, I mean, I would be more than happy, because I honestly, it means a lot to me that you said that, Keith, because you know, sometimes I'll put out things, and that series in particular, and I spent a lot of time working on that and trying to formulate my thoughts and articulate, you know, and also like get old folders out and look at like notes that I had and things that I was thinking about at the time. And you know, putting it out there, I did get good feedback, but a lot of the time I was like, I don't know if anyone's reading this. Like, I don't know if anyone's like really paying attention. But I you know, it's something that I didn't have when I started out, and I thought it would be very helpful for people who wanted to make comics, and to see like, okay, this is someone who's made multiple books, like, but sometimes when you've learned so much, you forget about what it was like starting out, and all the things you didn't know, and all the things you had to learn. And it's like, now I know all these different publishers, and now I know all these different YouTube shows, and now I know all these different people. But there was a point in time, and now I know how to really work with an artist well. But there was a point in time where, like, I just didn't, you're a newborn, and you know nothing about how to create something, and how to be a good collaborator, and how to even articulate your ideas in a way that people can understand what you're trying to do. And some of the most difficult things for me starting out was like finding a printer and where to share my book with people, how to share it. Like, all of those things were so frustrating for me. And so if there's anyone who could look at the series and just follow me through it and be like, oh cool, like I have my idea, now I have my story, now I have my character.
Yeah, like how do I go from this point to this point? And that's what I like, because I don't know if Johnny does, but I get asked all the time, like, hey, I got this idea, how do I make? And it's like, where do you even begin, like, to tell somebody how to make a comic? Like, so that's why I kind of wanted your series, because I can like just say, hey, go to my channel, here's this playlist, this guy that made seasons, he made this awesome how-to, basically. And I would give you full credit and everything.
If you want me to send you those or whatever you need,
if you could, because I don't have the subscription for YouTube where you can just download stuff.
Oh,
like if you can send me what did you do, an MP4 on all of those?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If you could send me all those MP4s, I'll release them. Like I'll probably do them weekly like you did and start it all over again. And then give me
cool.
if you I don't know if Source Point, did they have the link up yet for your book coming up?
So they have the website up, and they don't have
well, first I'll advertise your Kickstarter, obviously.
Oh they do have the book like under the website. There's creators, and if you click on my name, it shows seasons on there.
Oh, okay, cool.
And then it'll say like coming to the online store soon or something like that. So
nice. Yeah, I highly recommend anybody out there watching, if you haven't seen it, first go check it out on Nandor's channel. But if we'll run it here as well, like as one of our weekly videos, and then I'll put it together as a playlist. But anyone wanting to learn how to make indie comics, Nandor laid it out absolutely perfect, step by step. Did you watch that, Johnny, or listen to it? Or
I haven't, but kind of I wouldn't mind checking it out. But to that point is like, it's hard not to oblige people, especially when they come to the table, to not want to like encourage and kind of give whatever insight you can to kind of help them out with whenever they're trying to make comics. Like, even if it's the most rudimentary, like the artwork's obviously very bad, but like at least for me, I personally can't not help but try to like want to encourage them and want to try to like promote the creative spirit within them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
The best way to make indie comics is to make indie comics. You learn
by
just getting
honestly,
in there.
that's
just do it.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
No, seriously, do it. Come on. Do it.
Hey Johnny, I just realized what the aftertaste of this reminds me of now.
Oh yeah.
Remember when you were a kid and you weren't feeling well, and your mom gave you like these little like aspirin or the tablets that were orange flavored? That's what reminds
like cherry cold medicine, kind of.
Well, not the liquid form. It was like a pill form, like a little orange flavored like pill that you took that made you feel like a kid aspirin or kid.
Like chewables. Like
that's what it reminds me of, actually.
Love it. It's like the cocaine nose drip aftertaste.
Yeah, right.
In carbonated sweet sugar water form.
A little bit. I feel healthier now.
Alicia, I wanted to ask you, what are some of your artistic inspirations? Like what artists do you always? Yeah, I know you mentioned some of them earlier, but just curious.
I have 3 that I list on the Kickstarter. which did go into like working on this project specifically.
Yeah.
Like the art style I like the most is really, realism, but also going back to Charles Dana Gibson, who worked in like the early 20th century on just like these really beautiful like Edwardian girls, kind of like porcelain dolls, but they were these really simple line drawings. I really like that style, and it shows up in the original Wizard of Oz books as well.
Cool.
Which that's a very nuanced, like, not a lot of people know about that. But the second one, I really like the extreme camera angles and facial expressions in Jonan Vasquez's work. He made Johnny the Homicidal Maniac, and later on the Invader Zim TV show. So I really like those. And lastly, one of my favorite artists' name is Henry Darger, and he was a Chicago artist with this tragic like life story, but his artwork is he's the most famous outsider artist in the world. You may have seen his artwork, but like legend has it that like on his deathbed in 1973, he was like telling his landlord like he's a hermit, nobody knows who he is, he has no friends or anything. He's like, whatever you find in my apartment, just burn it, get rid of it. They're like, what? Yeah. So they go into his apartment, they find a 15,000 page manuscript with like really interesting like watercolor, and he just wrote this whole epic story. Anyway,
wow.
He actually couldn't really draw, so what he did was he sourced a whole bunch of like Sears catalogs and children's books and things like that. He would cut out pictures, trace. He did a lot of tracing and a lot of really interesting like transfer techniques that he pioneered himself. And he just whatever he could find in the garbage to make art, because he couldn't draw, but he had these things in his mind.
Yeah.
And this is a guy who never wanted anybody to see his artwork. He made this for himself, and he was the only one to ever experience it. And then he died, and we only have what he left behind.
Yeah.
Anyway, so like when I come across something in YNK that like, you never know, our book, YNK. So if I can't draw something, I would normally get really discouraged by that, and maybe even like try to like sneak my way out of it. Like maybe I don't have to draw this. Maybe I'll just draw something else. But I'm like, Henry wouldn't settle for that. It has to be done. I'll find a way. So Henry helps me with like problem solving.
One thing to Alicia's credit is, I mean, not only she's never done a comic before, but she's doing all the art. She's doing the pencil, she's doing the ink, she's doing the coloring. So she's doing every aspect of this book. So from all the inspiration that she's taking from all these different people just comes together beautifully in the story. So it's not just, you're not just seeing culmination of Alicia's art, you're seeing culmination of all the art that she's been inspired by coming to the page. And it's just so beautiful to see. And even from the first couple of pages she did to where she is now, and just seeing her way work through these different problems, work through these different, okay, I want to try to do this, but I'm not sure how. We'll have in-depth discussions about what we think would look best, and just shoot the shit for like an hour or two about what we think will look best for what page, then come out of it. And then she comes to me the next day, Elliott, what do you think of this? And it's like, where the fuck did this come from?
Did you ever grow up following like a TV show of like an artist drawing? Did you ever draw along with them or whatever? I mean, I'm older, so I did that when I was like, I had like Captain Bob, around here, remember that guy, Captain Bob, drawing from nature? There's only one video that I could find of his work. Like he drew like animals like from nature, like bobcats, or owls or whatever, and he used like these like thick crayons, you know what I mean? And I could never find. And it's like only one video that I found on YouTube that he's him drawing a cat. And then I watched it recently as an adult, and I got like kind of sad because like I thought he was like just drawing out of his own head, And as he's like drawing this cat, he like looks over, And I'm like, oh, he's drawing from a picture, but who cares? You know, it still inspired me as a kid to draw. You know what I mean? Like I never drew along with him, but I love watching people draw. You know what I mean? And then after I watch them, then I go and try my own thing. You know, and I don't draw I'm like focused on what they're doing. You know, the whole time. So
like, I know exactly what you're talking about, and that reminds me of a lot of like Bob Ross. You know,
Bob
like
Ross, right.
came along with me kind of thing.
Him.
I just think that when
Right.
I was growing up, not a lot of people were putting out that kind of material, so I didn't really watch that. But I watched exclusively animated things. And I don't just watch animated anything, like, because nothing is an accident in animation. So everything is on purpose, and like I don't really sit and enjoy things. Like I can see every single decision that was made on the screen, and I like take notes in my mind, and then like I'm always doing this with my hand, just like by my side. I'm just like, oh, that's how they did that, and I'm like, you know. So then I just like catalog it, and my muscle memory is getting a lot better now. But like because I hadn't been drawing for a couple of years, like that goes away, and don't let that go away. Like keep moving.
I think it's kind of the curse of the creator, though, right? Like when you watch a movie or a show or like an animation, like you said, like sometimes it's hard to like just enjoy it because you're kind of breaking it down in your head about like how, like, you know, imagine Johnny and Elliott and Nandor do this when you watch a movie and you're like looking at the script and you're like, okay, why is this here? You know, like where's, you know, what's the theme here, things like that, like
what's it foreshadowing, you know?
If like that was intentional, there's no way that was just a mistake. Like
exactly, like whenever, you know, like when they do like a movie where it's like who's the killer, and you're like, oh yeah, this random guy that had one scene, and you're like, oh, it's obviously him. Like
it's the Perry Mason effect. So that's why it's like Perry Mason so exciting, you can never guess the killer.
And exactly. And it's like,
you know what I love too? I love
it, you know.
I mean, I'm an artist too, but I mean, you would think that I wouldn't focus on the artwork of things, but I like narration, like people's voices, like voiceovers. I love like the voice of like Optimus Prime. You know, who did that voice? Who did Freddy from Scooby-Doo? You know, like Frank Welker, right? Yeah, and Frank Welker is like amazing. He's like does like a million voices too, and like even like I watched a lot of like true crime shows, and there was like a, you know, what's it called? Crap.
A narrator?
No, a narrator. So I'm watching what's it called? Forensic Files. And Peter Thomas is the narrator of that, and his every single word is pronounced perfectly. You know, it's like so amazing. Like the whole time I don't care about the crime. I'm like, his voice is amazing. Like the way he like narrates it, you know, like
pronunciation,
his pausing, and his pausing, like when he pauses, like when he like, you know, like when he elongates a word or something, you know.
I see him and I raise you a Keith Morrison. And his perfectly arched eyebrow.
I wanted to suggest, you know, since you like doing, you know, kind of more Sunday strips, like, have you ever thought about, you know, doing like an Instagram strip or, you know,
like
something
releasing it like panel by panel?
Or where people would just swipe, you know, and you could tell a story through that way.
Yeah, I have thought about that. You know what the problem is? It's like me trying to find time to draw nowadays. For sure.
No.
But I want to, like, I miss doing like a strip, you know, like, that's what I always wanted to do. I always wanted to become part of a syndicate, you know, and get my strip out there, and, you know, there's guys like, there's a guy that we've had on the show a couple times, Tim Jones, he's like doing it, but he's like going out to newspapers himself and like, hey, feature my strip. He's like doing it like all like, you know, on that indie level, which is really cool. And he got into like 60 papers just by knocking on their door and like going outside of the syndicate. So you gotta give him a, you know, thumbs up for doing something like that. It's great, you know.
Especially in this day and age where, you know, newspapers, like, you know, and like wanting to like, because that was such a prestigious thing, and it still is in some sense, but like it's also the technology's changed so much, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. There's an awesome documentary called Stripped that's about the whole like world of comic strips, if anyone's ever interested. And it actually has a rare like voice interview with Bill Watterson, which you never see. The guy's like the ultimate hermit. You never hear from him or see him. But the documentary's fascinating. Like they have like all the major, Jim Davis, Kathy Guisewhite, all those major cartoonists.
Yeah.
And they just talk about how like, how it was working with the syndicate and then how it is today, and like how newspapers are kind of falling apart. So it's like trying to find, like, same with comics though, trying to find your way in this new world and how to get, your book or your strip into people actually reading it. It's the whole distribution model, but just in a different way,
Right. Yeah, I think it's on Kickstarter still right now, but I think they're releasing like a collection of Stan Lee and John Romita's
the
Spider-Man strips. Yeah.
I would love to read those. I bet those
I know. Like I was like, man, there was a time when they were putting those out and you could just read them.
I always heard the Dick Tracy ones were unbelievable. Like they were done sort of that same way. I heard Chester Gould. I heard those were like master classes on how to do like storytelling and stuff like that. But I've never read them.
Yeah. When I attended a panel at New York Comic Con for Abrams Books, and Chip Kidd was there, and he's been doing a lot of design work on re-releasing Charles Schultz's Peanuts, and I think it's I don't know if it's the 65th or the 75th anniversary. And he was talking about the collection and having, sift through all of these strips, because they had to pick out of the thousands that he made, they had to pick a certain number to include in the collection. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And
that's like picking oh my god, I couldn't even
in a haystack. It's like which one and like how do we feature how do we sift through all of this? And he was talking about that process, and he was talking about how when Charles Schultz initially passed away, and like they went into his office, like he still had his pen where he left it, and like what strip he was working on, and like he to his dying day, he was making comics and he was working on Peanuts, and it was just like this beautiful sentiment of like perseverance and being able to stay working and to try to honor his legacy in that way. So I just it's really, really cool, really great story. But
that's cool. Now that's coming out as a book.
Yeah. There's a collection coming out through
I
Brooks. Yeah.
I bought all those hardcovers they did, where it's like every 2 years of Peanut strips from the beginning to the end.
Oh yeah.
I just, it's a massive stack of books. Like I just haven't even read them, but like I've read most of them, even when they were in the paper and stuff. But like I love Charles Schultz.
Speaking of
the greatest comic strip ever made.
Speaking of Charles Schultz, I just drew that thing I was showing you like a few days ago. I drew a very, very Charles Schultzian cartoon. This guy, I do side work too. I do logos and illustrations and infographics and things for my friend Bill. He has a print shop, whatever. So if he can't get to a logo or something, some kind of artwork, he just gives it to me, and it's my side job kind of. So this guy wanted me to draw a stick figure of a girl named Sue, for a septic business. And this drawing is going to go on his septic truck and his tanker, and it's called Sue's Septic. So I'm just draw a stick figure of a girl. I'm like, I'm like, stick figure. I mean, I can draw. I can draw it better than a stick figure. He's like, no, I want it very, very simple. I'm like, well, what if I just draw it cartoony, you know? And so, I kind of almost stole my little nieces, because I sit down with her and my nephew, and we draw it together. And she drew a very simple cartoon, like a stick figure. I'm like, oh, I like the way her hair. It's like basically like a you know, upside down U, you know, and it bows out a little bit. So I kind of took that and I fleshed it out, and I can show it if you want to see it. It reminds me of Charlie Brown's sister, you know.
Yeah, if you want to share it, I'll pop it up on the screen.
Let me
and then maybe we'll take a look at everyone's Kickstarter one more time, and then maybe start wrapping it up.
I was gonna say, do we move any needles tonight? Did anybody get any backers?
I believe so. Like I got a bunch tonight. Nandor,
Nice.
where were you at before the show started? Do you remember?
I think I was at 56 backers. I think I'm still there. Yeah, so I haven't gotten a new backer yet.
We'll pop it up, see if we can change that. And then Elliott, do you remember how many backers you were at when
Yeah, we were at 78 and we're still at 78. But
okay.
you never know.
You never know. There you go.
You gotta think a lot of people watch us not live too. So there's tomorrow and the next day.
People still have 8 days left, so we're getting down to the wire.
Awesome. You know who's watching us right now? Just look at this. Jimmy Palmiotti's watching.
Oh, the great Jimmy Palmiotti! Wow,
that's great! Isn't that awesome?
Dude,
that's great.
Congrats
Thanks
on
for watching, Jimmy.
the Harley Quinn Elvira book. Like that.
That just came out, right?
Yeah.
How is it? Did you read it?
Yes. Yeah. It was so much fun. It was lovely.
Is it in the vein of their old Harley Quinn kind of stories, like him and Amanda's?
Yeah. I mean, it definitely. I think if you're a fan of that, like you're right at home. So.
Oh, nice. I bought his. I haven't read it yet, and I think it was a Kickstarter project, but then he released it. It was like the Pop Wars or something.
Pop
it's like
Kill?
Pop Kill. Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah,
and it intrigued me. It was like like soda wars or something, but
right.
It's like real spies, and the covers were amazing.
Yeah, so. I think Dan Panosian did a few covers for
His
it.
art's amazing. Dude.
Oh, I know. And I think Mad Cave picked up the book, and they're releasing it in the direct market right now.
Yeah, that's where I got it, but I know it was originally Kickstarted, if I remember right.
Yeah.
And it's just my pile is up there. I just have not read it. I did read Jimmy Palmiotti's and Dan Panosian's first issue of The Punisher, though.
Oh, I can't wait to check that out. Yeah.
Oh, have you read that? It's the Marvel Knights. What is it? The World to Come, or
World to Come? Yeah, not yet.
But they get the Punisher, so it's nice to see it back to what it is, what it's supposed to be. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm curious where that's going. But Dan Panosian doing the art, it's awesome. It's like really good stuff.
Awesome.
And like, I mean, those old Marvel Knights books are amazing.
Love those old Marvel Knights books.
So good.
Kevin Smith's Daredevil was like so good. Yeah,
awesome.
Joe Quesada.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And that Black Panther run is my favorite Black Panther run easily. The Christopher Priest one, and I forget the artist's name. The guy that did Ghost Rider for a little while. You know what I'm talking about, right? I forget his name though.
Isn't that the series that they made the motion comic out of? That like the one?
No, it was the one
for
before
a while?
that. That one came after. That was the one that John Romita Jr. did, I think. That they made the motion comics.
Yeah, that's right. It was Romita's art style.
Oh, Mark Teixeira.
Yeah, Mark Teixeira. That's what it was.
Teixeira. Yeah.
That was cool stuff. That was a great run. But anyways, what were we talking about? Oh, Harry, you were going to show your thing, right?
Oh yeah, it's pretty simple.
It's after 10 p.m. so Harry can show his thing.
That's why.
It looks. You drew her like kind of like Sally a little bit.
A little bit.
There's Susie Septic. Pumping out her sewer.
Gosh, that's great.
So we'll see what he thinks. I don't know. It's pretty simple.
I still would have had Susie, but I would have put her in like the Michael Myers jumpsuit and like have like just like pig pen kind of like dirt flying all over her or whatever.
Johnny, please, it's too soon.
It's too soon.
The Michael Myers thing. I just had an experience with Michael Myers recently.
All right, so before we start wrapping things up, let's zip through the campaigns again here one more time. First, I want to put up. You never know. There's the QR code for people to check out, and I also will paste the link in the chat here as well. So
thank you.
This is the book by Alicia and Elliott.
And I was going to say, while Keith's bringing up the page, is there a recommended tier that you would give the audience?
Yeah, we never talked about that at all.
Yeah, that's something
that's a great question. We have so many amazing tiers. We actually have a metal variant exclusive that's only, limited edition is limited to 50. So you can get that in its own tier. I always call the crew tier, which is you get all 4 covers by all of our variant artists. You just don't get the metal cover. But you can't go wrong with Alicia's tier. For $10, you get the main issue, the main cover. You get Alicia's cover, her first cover, and it's just the perfect jumping off point. People tend to really like our Joseph Schmalke cover D a lot as well. But if you're indecisive like me, just go for every cover that you can. We have the crew tier, which is I think the next one up from there. But really, you can't go wrong with any of them, really, because the crew tier gets you every cover at a discount. Basically, the way it ends up working out is you basically get the cover A for free.
Oh, okay, I like that. You get a little discount the higher you go up.
Yeah, so 50. So you're basically paying for 3 covers, and you get the 4th for free essentially at that point. But then if you go for all of our covers, you get the limited edition metal cover. You also get the variant covers, and you get the main issue as well. And once we're done with the 50, that's done. So you're not gonna get those again.
And that's a smart move to bundle the put like a kind of an aggressive discount on the big bundled high premium tier, because if somebody does want the whole collected thing, to be saving by doing so.
Right, and ultimately, we're a company of the people. Wouldn't charge more for a comic book than I would be comfortable paying. So
I think your price is just right. That's kind of the same model I went with. I think is $10 per issue. I did go a little higher on the variants because they are limited, and I think you guys did the same, which I think
we did,
smart.
yes. But we wanted to make sure that the jumping off point was as accessible to as many people as possible. And then on top of that, not only are we including with the physical tiers, we're also including stickers. You get a free print of our cover D in black and white that is exclusive to Kickstarter. We're only printing as many as people are ordering for physical tiers. We're including our stickers as well. And we have stretch goals as well that are getting included at the physical tier, where you're going to get digital copies of the concept artwork for the story, but you're also going to get the thumbnails in issue 1. So not only are you getting issue 1 digitally, not only you're getting the actual comic book physically at whatever tier you back, you're not only getting the exclusive print, the stickers, you're also getting all of issue 1 as a thumbnail as well. So you can see the artistic process.
Oh, that's awesome.
So we're including a lot in there. For $10, you too can get a lot of stuff.
How do you guys know Joe Schmalke? Like, did you meet him at a convention, or is that?
We both met him at the same C2E2 that we met. So ironically, I met Joe earlier that day and talked with him about the writing process and creating comics. Alicia met him at some point in the day independently and talked with him about the art process. Then ironically, we're both like, oh, I got this comic from C2E2. Oh, which one? I got this. Oh, I got this. I know that guy. So, and then we just kept in touch, and we see him at all the conventions, and he's just
he's up in our neck of the woods, and I know Joe really well. He's a great guy. Good horror fan too. If you ever want to talk horror movies.
We just love his style, and
his properties are amazing, especially 7 Years in Darkness. If you never had a chance to read that, it's kind of like an evil Harry Potter. It's wild.
Oh, I'm caught up on year 3 already. I'm waiting for the next issue.
Oh, are you really? Okay, perfect.
Oh, yeah, no, I love
it's
it.
a good book.
No, but when we came to him, the first thing Alicia and I said is we want Joe to do a cover for us. And I gave him the script for the first issue, and he came back with the cover like 4 days later. And I had some hesitation on it because I hadn't seen variant art for our story before. He's like, Elliott, trust me. And that has been our most popular cover, is his cover.
Excellent.
Yeah, you
got to trust the artist.
I stopped questioning things a long time ago. This was in the first couple months of like actually creating things. And then it's like I stopped questioning anything. I said, draw what you want, here's your money.
Yeah, you
Speaking of creating things,
you guys know what they're doing, you know. They bring a whole other dimension to the book and everything, you know. All right, yeah.
Elliott, have you ever made a lawyer commercial?
Commercial? No. I've been told some stuff like that, but no, I'm just, you find me, you need me, I got you.
Oh, okay. So no Better Call Saul commercial or anything like that?
I get that a lot though from my friends. They're like, Better Call Elliott. Like, yeah.
I'm
here for. I also do criminal. I'm a criminal defense lawyer by day also. So I am doing the Better Call Saul thing.
Yeah, you would need like a rhymy thing though, like with the Elliott. What rhymes with Elliott? Something is.
What kind of law do you specialize in, Elliott?
So we do criminal defense, personal injury, workers' compensation, and traffic. So I say everything from traffic tickets up to murder and everything in between. And if you get hit by a car. But then I also started working with creators, doing a lot of intellectual property work and contracts as well. So, you know,
awesome.
because I would go to cons all the time and I'd hear about these issues creators would have with different publishers and the way that, you know, you get screwed over in contracts because you didn't have a lawyer read it over. And then you're spending all this time and money to try to get your rights back. I wanted to be the guy to be able to prevent that from happening. I want to be the guy that's helping you out, to be the one who needs to go through all this stuff with you, explain why it's happening, why this needs to be this way, why the contract needs to say this, why you need to be aggressive about getting this in your contract, and why you should just walk away from certain deals. And how there's always gonna be other opportunities, but your work is your work and you should not give that up. Yeah. So, and then on top of that, I litigate for a living. So if somebody's like, oh, these guys want, like, I don't know how to go to court or any of that, that's what I'm here for. So you get me at the ground level, you get me afterwards. Like, I'm there whenever you need me. I can cover all these different areas of law that not a lot of people are able to do as one person.
Shit, I think you could make a killing just on that aspect. If you get that out into the creator world, I think that's a very useful thing that people need, especially, you know, like Nandor. Like, I mean, I'm assuming the contracts make sense, but if you ever needed someone to look it over, you know,
Elliott. Totally.
DM me after this. We'll talk.
That was one of the most difficult things to find. You know, when I was getting these publishing deals and sitting down with the contract and looking through it, and then looking to work with a lawyer to look through it as well. You know, there's not specifically, you know, comic book law or IP law. Like, it can be difficult to, you know, get someone and to understand the business, you know, that, and so
and it helped.
Yeah, with someone like you who's like making it, who knows the business and who, you know, can look at it through, you know, from both sides. That could be
I think that's
helpful.
very useful.
Yeah, and that's where
so if anybody we'll give your socials out at the end, but if anybody needs that service, they should definitely write down your name and, you know, reach out. That'd be awesome.
Dude, how do you have time for a Kickstarter? You're like practicing law. You're like running 8 miles a day. Like, you're crazy. You're crazy. It's so inspiring. It's awesome.
I mean, he's like Daredevil, you know. Like,
you know, you got to do something. Well, because when I'm running in the, like, I always wake up and I run. Like, I get up at 5, I run, and I'll get my lift in. So I have 3 parts to my day. I have the morning, that's me. Like, I don't have to worry about anything. No one's awake. So it's just, that's my me time. I centralize myself. I focus. I can get my thoughts out. I can think, brainstorm, prepare myself for the day. Law work during the day, and then I take a power nap at lunch for like 20 minutes so I can rest up. The rest of the day, finish up my if I have trials, if I have other work that I'm doing, prepare for the next day. get home, and then the second I get home, as Alicia knows, I'm writing things. I'm working with her, going over other deals, or like coordinating with printers, doing the legal work for our company. So at least we don't have to pay legal fees on Calamity Comics, which is great. But I'm coordinating trademarks, I'm coordinating copyright stuff. I'm also going over other people's stuff that they need help with.
Damn,
so,
dude.
But I love it so much.
Just like after this show.
Never stops. It never stops. But I mean, I feel so thankful to be able to not only have a job that I love, that I get to do every day, but I get to do a job that I love that also meets my passion. And I'd rather be talking with, like, I've had clients come up to me who are in the industry who are like, it's so much better to have somebody who I'm working with who understands the industry, who is passionate about the industry, who's a fan of the industry. Because like in my mind, you know, obviously represent the creators, but like these comics are my client essentially. And I take such pride in being able to keep these stories safe, protected, and in the right hands of who they should be in.
Sold.
Awesome.
Consultations are free, don't worry.
Yeah, right. All right, so now I'm gonna pop up season. I'm gonna take down this QR code. I'm gonna pop up the QR code for Seasons Volume 1 and 2.
And the same question, Nandor, just any specific tier you would recommend for somebody?
Yeah, totally. I mean, I think the one that I recommend is, you know, the bundle deal for Seasons Volumes 1 and 2 and the Volume 3 Ash Can. So we're only going to print you know, as many as are ordered for the Ash Can, and if you want a sneak peek at what fall is going to be like and what the next steps in Fletcher's journey is like, then there you go. And it is like a discount, but you get volumes 1 and 2 and the Ash Can. I think it's a little bit farther down, Keith.
Okay.
But I think it's $40. If I remember.
And Andrew, if I can commend you a little, if I can commend you a little bit, the pricing on everything is just phenomenal. Like,
oh, thank you. Yeah.
I mean, that not only did that sell me right away, but then obviously the art and the content. But everything is priced fairly. There's so much content for what you're getting. I haven't even read it, and I'm already in love with it. So I think you're doing everything right.
Yeah, the concept's amazing. I love the idea of their powers changing with the seasons. That's really cool. That's a clever like take on the superhero genre.
Right. Yeah. Like in you know, I hesitate to use the word superhero, but like, you know, that's where I come from. Like that's where my comfort zone is. But like it's a superhero story with none of the tropes, if that's possible. Like, you know, like it doesn't
like
have any
superhero story done through like the DC Vertigo lens or something.
Right. Yeah, like it, you know, there's no spandex, there's no like, you know, twirling mustaches or, you know, anything that's like comic booky, like, and that's why I like to tell people it's, you know, The Crow meets Unbreakable. You know, like if you're a fan of Unbreakable and you love like grounded superhero stories, like it's almost like a wink and a nod. Like if you understand superheroes, you'll get that much more out of it and that much more of the layers. But if you don't, it's okay, because it's you know, a hero's journey. It's a kind of a classic hero story about you know, finding yourself and coming back, and you know, finding you know, going out adventuring and coming back home and sharing with people what you've learned and how you've grown. And yeah, each volume, you know, is over 100 pages. You get to like 230 pages with volumes 1 and 2 in the Ash Can, and there's just so much there, you know, to get you on board. And you know, the point of this campaign and seasons in general is like, I don't want anyone coming to the campaign and thinking, you know, like there's anything stopping them. Like this is a why not campaign. Like, why not check this out? Why not give it a shot? Why not, like, you know, check out what else Nandor has, you know, going on, and let's, you know, get in on this. So And if you are a digital reader, you can get the first volume for $5, or you can get both volumes for $10. So
you can't beat that.
That's like
deal.
an amazing deal.
Yeah, and I want readers. Like that's all I've ever wanted. I've wanted people to read it and to let me know what they think about it. And it's been highly reviewed. I mean, I've had so many people reach out to me and tell me they've enjoyed the story. And Johnny, I know you dig it. And there's been a lot of people who've reached out. And I remember when I first started putting it out for people to read online as a webcomic, I sent it to Brian Michael Bendis, and he was like, "This is great. Like, you're doing a great start. Like, I'm excited to see what else you got going on." And
oh, cool. So you get some feedback from Bendis. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah,
I've always said it's an image caliber book, and it just blows my mind that it's not there. But Source Point benefits from it
for sure.
The artwork, it's top notch, and the idea is amazing. I do want to read it at some point. I think I backed the digital, so I could definitely read the first 2 volumes.
Oh, for sure, man. Yeah, and I love telling stories with that focus on character. I'm a character writer. The plot of the story is the story engine, and being able to always keep the reader and Fletcher himself on his toes, and like you're always excited to see what new power set he's going to get, but also what he's going to face, and how can we keep upping the ante and showing, like how can we outdo ourselves with each book, and if Fletcher takes on all these entities or these beings in this volume, what could he possibly face in the next book that would be, more intimidating or scarier for him to face. So
and also each volume is a season, right? Is that right?
Correct. Yeah. Yeah. So it starts, and it's told in real time as much as it can be. So like it'll start, like each book starts on the first day of spring or the first day of summer, and the entire story takes place within that time frame of like first day of spring to the last day to the first day of summer to the last day of summer, and on and on. So you get the dates, you get the weeks, and you get to, I structured the entire story around the entire year. So by the time you get to the end of the series, we come full circle, and we get to see what Fletcher has learned and who he has become.
Oh,
what happens next year?
I love it.
What happens next year? You have to find out. Yeah.
Right. I think I'm more of a spring, fall type of guy. I'm not sure weather-wise. I'm not sure about you guys.
Yeah. Well, fall is my favorite, arc so far. Like I've been dying to release it, and so this campaign is just going to be, the more motivation for us to get that next book out. Like once volumes 1 and 2 are shipped out to backers and fulfilled, like we're going to be launching the campaign for fall pretty quickly thereafter. So.
Oh, cool! That was going to be my next question. Awesome, that's good to hear.
Yeah, I don't want people to wait any longer. So yeah,
nice. And then you'll only have one more to do after that, right?
Exactly, and then my life's work will be done, and I can quit. No, but like this has been with me for so long, and it's someone described it to me the other day as almost like in a good kind of way, but like when a story's been with you for so long, it's almost like you're carrying a disease, like it's
I was thinking child.
Yeah, there you go, that too. But like until you can cure it, until you can finish it, and until it's done, it's always going to be with you. And it's the, I like to tell people, seasons
it's
is
like exercising it, like getting
but it's like the first thing I think of when I wake up, and the last thing I think of when I go to bed. And to be able to like finish it, have it out there, and just be like, I did it. Yeah,
that's what Kid Switch is. I like I said, I started it in 2015. I had the first issue done.
Yeah,
and then I took the side road with Mighty Mascots, and then that got picked up by Alterna, so my whole life became Mighty Mascots.
He's not a kid anymore. He's a man
years.
now. Man switch.
Yeah, I know. He'd be like he'd be like one of the Stranger Things kids right now.
Right, I know, really.
But this is me kind of going back and wanting to finish it. Like,
yeah.
And Johnny kind of encouraged me a little bit because it's like you said, Johnny, you love the Kid Switch. You said it's my
But yeah, it's my favorite. I like it better than Mighty Mascots.
Yeah, isn't that yeah? So I always wanted to do it. I already have all the issues written. I just haven't, produced it.
Yeah.
So, but I'll show that really quick, and then we'll start wrapping up here.
Oh, and the narrator.
What's
that?
that?
A trailer for your. Are you playing your trailer?
Oh yeah, yeah. You know what? Let me just do that. I'll play the trailer and
listen
then
to the narration of this.
Yeah, I'll play the
There's
trailer.
a very
and then,
famous voice that does this trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got the guy. He does the voice for, was it Prowl and something else from Transformers?
Wow.
He was a guest at my my Comic-Con this past year, and I was like, his name's Dick Terhune, and I said, "Hey Dick, how much would it be to hire you for, to do a voiceover for like a Kickstarter trailer?" He's like, you brought me into this convention, I'd do it for free. And I was like, seriously?
No way.
You bet your ass I'm taking you up on that.
Nice.
So yeah, let me play that, and that's all we'll need for today. Let me hang on. Actually, I gotta dip out and activate the audio here. Hang on.
Oh, right.
It's always a thing with these.
And the QR code still set the seasons right now, right, Johnny?
No, I reset it to Kid Switch.
Okay,
So
yeah, that's now Kid Switch. So anybody who's looking to back Kid Switch now, you can scan that.
All right, and then let me turn my audio off, and here we go.
What if you found a piece of junk that turned out to be one of the most important items in this universe, and every universe? Meet Joey Swick, your average teen who's about to have his world turned upside down when he stumbles across a curious device in the local junkyard. A glove packed with mysterious and incredible powers. This isn't just any gauntlet. It belongs to the Dimensioneers, a group of godlike beings who control the fabric of reality. Joey and his best friend Monty are thrust into a wild adventure, facing off against the brutal Commander Skullguard, who'll stop at nothing to reclaim his lost property. Will Joey master the Gauntlet's powers in time and survive? Kid Switch is a story about friendship, discovery, and embracing the unexpected. Perfect for readers young and old who love sci-fi, action, and a good dose of slice of life. Your pledges will help fund the artwork, printing, and production of Kid Switch issues 1 and 2. By backing Kid Switch, you're not just getting an awesome comic, you're joining Joey and Monty on an adventure that spans dimensions. Let's make Kid Switch issues 1 and 2 a reality.
Hello?
We're lost in the void. We're lost in the void. Woo.
I mean, that guy was no Nandor, but pretty awesome voiceover.
Yeah.
Nandor, need to read me a bedtime story later.
I was gonna say, Nandor, can I hire you to voice over my Kickstarter trailer?
Dude, anytime. I would love to.
He should be our announcer for the show.
I've done a few podcast intros for people.
Yeah,
so
perfect. That would be perfect. Keith, are you having technical difficulties?
Yeah, where is Keith?
We lost Keith.
Or any of us, really.
Oh, yeah, we're all floating.
And we're back
right now.
Okay.
3, 2, 1. There we go. Keith is actually literally missing. Oh, no, there he is. You're behind the logo, Keith, so I couldn't see. Your audio, Keith. Your audio.
Yeah.
Okay.
There we
what the hell.
go.
I don't know what happened. Okay, hang on. Stop sharing. Oh, there we go.
There we
All
go.
right, cool. All right.
Yeah.
There we go.
I don't know what the hell happened there.
And Keith,
Time to end it. Time
to wrap this up.
Time
Keith,
to wrap it up.
You're already at 316.
Oh, that's crazy. That's awesome.
Sweet.
Yeah, man. Congrats.
Yeah, I went with a smaller goal, like kind of like I wanted, definitely want to make more than 500, but I wanted to hit 500 and then have the late pledges open so that I can kind of
Keep it going
collecting right until I, make the book or whatever.
Totally.
Yep. That's a smart move.
Yeah, I'm playing like the long game, I guess, with it, There's less stress and anxiety.
Well, I like that. That's now a feature on Kickstarter where you can keep it open. That was one of the more
that was
things of
always why.
Indiegogo.
That was always why I went to Indiegogo for that reason, is to have the after. And because
in demand.
we made a lot of money after the campaign was over, just because sometimes people can't back when it's active,
Yeah.
So,
Well, now Indiegogo's changed so much. They did a complete overhaul with their site. So
did you look it over? I haven't launched anything since they did that. But...
Yeah, I haven't launched anything, but I just browsed through it, and it feels like a completely different site.
So now they use animated Indiegogo dancers.
Not quite there yet on that one.
All right.
I know. I gotta start employing some of these sound effects when Harry talks. Forgetting to do it. Like I have some good.
Wait,
ones
I got one
already.
more. I got one more. How about this? Cue one up, Keith.
All right, go ahead.
You want? All right, yeah. How about this, Elliott? Ready? Need a lawyer? Better get Elliott.
Get Elliott.
Pardon my French, but you're an asshole.
There you go, Harry. Or let me see. We got some.
This up before this devolves into anything worse.
Got Bill Paxton.
Oh yeah, I love that.
Mom, please stop.
No one's gonna be for Harry. Yeah, please,
Please stop.
Please. This is Saul Rosenberg. We bring all my shoes and my glasses so I have them.
I thought it was Judge Judy.
I'm calling the police on you, sons of bitches.
All right, we gotta wrap this up. This is devolving.
I know.
We're devolving.
Final thing, Elliott, Alicia, Nandor. Let's hear the socials, and then we'll start wrapping this up.
Nandor, you want to lead us off?
Sure. Yeah. So you can find me on X and Blue Sky at Nandor Fox. You can also check out my YouTube channel, Foxhole Comics, and then I have a newsletter, foxholecomics.substack.com. You can subscribe to both of those. And then, feel free to check out the Kickstarter right now for Seasons. We have, I think, 23 days left. And we're like 40% funded. So we're almost, we'll get there. I'm excited, but check it out. And DM me anytime if anyone has any questions. Happy to help.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome.
You can find me at Mondry Writes everywhere: Instagram, X, Blue Sky, Threads. You can find us also at Calamity Comics Official for all the updates on the Kickstarter and us as a company. And YNK, You Never Know, on Kickstarter for the next 8 days. Get your exclusives, things that you're not going to be able to get anywhere else, and start a series that we believe will change the industry on mental health and in comics in general from the first issue.
Awesome.
Yeah. Definitely check out Calamity Comics Official on Instagram. And if you would like to learn more about ants and other Hymenoptera, definitely find me at, I have it written here, Alicia Populia. It's on Instagram too. That's the only place I am. But other than that.
Awesome. Harry, Johnny, anything else you guys want to add before we close this one out?
Harry?
I think I said enough.
Please stop.
Yeah. right. Thank you.
Johnny, anything you want to?
No. I mean, I'll save whatever I have for next week or next time.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Everybody, thanks. Thanks for watching. Check out all these Kickstarters. All the links are in the description of the video below. If you're watching this tomorrow or next week or anytime, like, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and most importantly, read some comics, everybody. And we will talk to you next week. Good night, everybody.
Have a good night.